everybody, welcome to Frame Trap. I'm your host, Brad Ellis. I'm joined by Isla Hank.
Hi.
And Michael Damiani, my co-host.
How's it going?
It's going good. And we got in the booth for a little bit, who knows how long, Don Casanova.
Hello.
Oh, there he is. He's beautiful.
He's like a shiny Pokemon. He might get away really quickly.
He's rare.
Yeah.
And he runs at about the same frame rate.
How rare are those shiny Pokemon?
I don't even know.
People are like, I see streamers being like, I'm shiny hunting. I'm hunting for shinies.
I don't know, man.
And I'm like,
There's strategies.
Why?
Sophia keeps telling me about the strategies. Like, you can have your Pokemon out in the world, and apparently it'll fight things and just kill things.
Yeah, it
Like,
does.
We'll get into that.
massacre,
Yeah.
but it won't fight the shinies.
There you go.
so they make it, it's just a skin, right?
It gives it a we don't know if
They
that's
might
a
have better
feature or a
stats.
bug though at this
Well,
point.
that's the Pokemon experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
Setting it loose and
That's
not
true.
fighting shinies. But
That's true.
yeah.
You'd hate it to just murder a shiny.
Yeah,
'cause you wanna
that'd
catch
be
it.
That would
bad.
suck.
Unless you just really want the EXP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an amped
Okay, I just playing
and
Pokemon.
a
I don't
laid
care
back
about
version
shiny.
of that one, and it looks kind of cool. Anyway.
Oh, what?
Amped and a laid back. One of them has electric yellow hair, and one of them has electric blue hair. It's like a lightning lizard thing.
Oh, okay.
Pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy, yeah.
Pokemon.
Welcome to Frame Trap. We're going to talk about a bunch of games today, as we always do on each episode of Frame Trap. That is what we do here. Dive in deep, talk about those games.
Yeah.
If you want your news, you go to the Easy Allies podcast every week. This is not every week, every other week. But you get the sick game discussions here. We're going in deep, as always. And if you want to, of course, as always, support us, check us out on patreon.com/easyallies.
New sponsor tier that you can do.
There is a new sponsor tier, yeah.
Patron sponsors.
Yeah, I don't know when that's coming. I just kind of let you and Blood tell me.
Next time?
Okay. Whenever stuff happens.
I guess after December. Though we turned on Instabill or whatever, so...
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. Flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
So what we do. First game, Damiani, is Pokémon Scarlet and Violet.
Oh yeah.
I have a very bizarre history of mostly annoyance at this series.
That's okay.
When Red and Blue came out, I think I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
Perfect age for that shit to come out.
Target audience.
Loved it. So good. I love Red and Blue. Played a little bit of Yellow, got bored, stopped playing. Tried
Gold and Silver.
Pearl? No, I didn't even play those. Didn't even play those. Tried Pearl.
I heard Pearl.
Got bored. Stopped. Woo! Came back. Sword and Shield. Tried it. Bored. Stopped.
Okay.
Tried Scarlet. Kind of having a good time.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I barely started
Yeah.
Scarlet. I
There
have a
we
history
go.
similar to, well, not
Yeah.
similar to yours. The first one I ever bought was Let's Go Eevee.
Oh, right.
Beat that.
Because you came in the Nintendo system, ecosystem
yeah.
late.
And then
I like that you played Twilight Princess, though. I always liked that.
I love Twilight Princess.
Hell yes.
But I played Sword, and then I got like a few hours in and it got bored and stopped.
It was boring.
Yeah. And I bought Scarlet just because I was out getting
Yeah, that's
them.
what I have.
Yeah, I did Scarlet. She did Violet. Yeah. Haven't started it yet, really.
And Damian, of course, you've played Pokemon before. I know you've reviewed some Pokemons in the past, many years ago.
Yeah, it's interesting. You said you got to like Pearl, because Diamond and Pearl is my
Your intro?
onboard. Yeah.
Cool.
And then went back and played other ones. Then right after that was like Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Wait, you didn't play Red and Blue when it came out?
No.
Damn, I felt like that was like a phenomenon when it came out.
Yeah, I was kind of like.
Were you like, I'm gonna play Link's Awakening?
I was like weirdly like this.
Again.
This is too popular, so it's stupid.
Oh,
of
got
those
it,
people.
got
Oh,
it, dude.
contrarian.
So I was like, nah, I'm gonna stick with my
But you love
my
Pikachu.
indie Zelda games.
Yeah, but you love Pikachu. We have a million Pikachus.
You do love
It felt like in
Pikachu.
school, like Zelda was like an outcast series that like not a lot of
really?
people like.
Dude, in my school-
Well, Ocarina of Time was coming out, everyone did talk about, but before that, everyone's like Zelda's stupid or something. I'm like, okay, actually, everyone was excited about GoldenEye, and I wasn't into it at first. Like I wasn't getting the hype.
Oh, okay.
And like when I kept trying to talk about Ocarina of Time, I'm like, shut up, GoldenEye. Let's talk about GoldenEye.
Damn, dude.
Okay.
Dude, Ocarina of Time like took over my school, I remember.
Yeah, when it
Shut
came
up,
out, it
Michael.
did. Yeah.
Did they call you Michael as a kid?
I don't even remember.
Huh.
Probably still called me Damiani.
Kids?
Right.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's been so long. But yeah, I played Diamond and Pearl first, and then went through all the other ones, and I did not.
Wait, have you played all of them?
I did not play Sun and Moon.
Okay.
Did not play
There was-
the Aloha version.
Were those
of
both
Visitor.
Was Sun and Moon DS, then Ultra was 3DS?
Whatever they were, I didn't play them.
I don't know.
And then I played through Sword and Shield.
Oh, you played through it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was like, okay.
That was fine? Okay.
And then Arceus I didn't finish, but I saw the potential of Arceus. There are a lot of ideas I liked in there. And I'm kind of on board with this. Scarlet and Violet, I'm playing Violet, right?
Yes, you were playing the other one.
Scarlet. I actually so far like how it's structured.
Me too.
Despite any of the technical stuff.
Yeah, I think, like, obviously the game runs like dog shit, and it's pretty bad.
It's clear to me this game needed more time to be polished and finished.
Yeah.
We don't really need to get it right now. Like the whole Pokemon cycle, I think this is a problem, and that this game coming out like next year would have been amazing in terms of like not having any of these bugs. I think there would be less, negative, negativity surrounding it.
Yeah.
Despite that, this has a lot of good ideas in it.
Yes, it does.
I really like the open nature of this, and even though the opening's a little bit like slower,
It is, yeah.
I actually didn't mind it at a point because you basically you follow the same structure. Oh, you wake up in your house. Hi,
Your
here's
mom.
your mom. Let's go meet a professor sometime.
Do you ever have a
Let's go
dad
get
in
your
these
start.
games? I feel like you never have a dad.
I don't think in the games, but I think there's like weird fan theories and stuff about like the anime, like Ash's dad, like it was Professor Oak, Ash's dad, and stuff.
Oh
like,
my God.
all weird stuff. I don't.
It's
know.
all just an excuse
Yeah.
to spend time with his son.
I was a bad father, but now I gotta. Yeah. But yeah,
God.
you pick your start. I kind of like how you hang out with your starters at the beginning before you choose
they're
one.
like in the yard?
You don't really do anything
you
with
don't
them.
do
They just
much.
kind of like walk around.
You just get to see 'em.
Oh, I felt so bad. So when you normally pick one of the three, you just pick one, and then sometimes your rival will get the other one, but you don't. Oh, it's not always on screen. How they presented picking your starting Pokemon, it's like your school president, what's her name, Nemina, or
I don't remember, dude.
she's really cool.
your rival.
I don't know if she's your rival so much as like she's your
my
best
rival.
friend.
Yeah, she's your rival best friend, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the relationship.
Okay.
She always wants to fight you and stuff.
But it's
It's not like fuck you kind of thing. It's
I feel like
friendly
she
rivalry.
wants to fight everybody.
Yeah, but
She
it's
comes
friendly.
across,
It's a
Pokemon
friendly
wise.
rivalry with her though.
So she asked the director, it's not a professor, director of the academy you're going
Yeah.
to. So you're enrolling in a new school.
Is this new? Going to school in
Yeah,
Pokemon?
this is
I think
this
it's
is a whole,
cool.
whole
It's
different
like
angle.
Persona vibes, I've heard, like sort of.
A little bit.
Persona
I didn't
Light.
really spend much time there yet. Like you go there,
Yeah.
there's like kind of like an introduction, slight time skip, and then you get set loose. But before that, go back to choosing your own starters. You choose one, your other rival chooses the other one right there, and then the other one's just like standing behind, like all alone. And I'm like, I felt sad. I was like,
Just
I think they
gets to
shoot
go
it.
back
They
with
shoot
the,
it. But
then the
headmaster.
But I did like how the director's like, all right, little one, come with me. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, you still have somebody.
All right,
That's
quick
okay.
question though before we get into it. What did everyone pick for their starters?
Oh, you
Picked the cat one?
course.
Okay.
And then it like crawled up on my shoulder and like purred with me. And I was like, yes.
I made my character walked around my bedroom and stopped.
Oh, okay. So you haven't even done much. All
I
right.
haven't gotten there yet.
Cool. Have you seen the starters
Sorry
though?
for the spoilers.
No.
Sorry
Okay.
for the spoilers.
Oh, I don't
Well, they
care.
showed them a while ago.
I have not. I know literally nothing. I mean, I've been watching Sophia play a bunch, so I've seen her like dicking around doing whatever. The motorcycles are so funny to me. Like every
my
time
God.
I see them, I'm just like, these look so.
They look
weird.
like my guy in Scarlet looks like a weird Sonic character.
Yeah. They look like weird pervy motorcycles.
Yeah, I'm like, go back.
Oh.
It's a Sonic character.
They're
It's like a
so
DeviantArt Sonic
weird.
character.
Yeah.
Mine looks like
They're not bad. They're just weird.
No, it's like a dragon motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like
Does your
xenomorph.
wheels spin on your guys?
glowy?
Mine
Yeah,
fucking
on the
don't.
back
Really?
one.
Yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
mad about it. I hate it.
Yeah, it's
They're
nice.
like, chat was like, it's the tail. I was like, well, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, I think on yours the tail might cover the wheel. on the red
I'm
one,
Scarlet. I'm
oh,
Scarlet.
oh.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So I've seen
Mine-
Violet.
They
'cause I've
mine-
watched
yeah.
My
hers.
thing like actually
yeah,
runs.
mine covers the. You're
Oh.
thinking of the one I got.
I
yeah.
don't know.
But I really like the opening structure. So that part's
Okay.
very basic. But you get to see like the scale. Like everything's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
You can walk around like a lot more open space.
Yeah,
Everything
it
I've
feels
seen-
like a world like I've actually wanted from Pokemon forever.
Yes. And then you go into the first route or whatever to the first town, and that zone is just like huge if you want to. You can just go straight across a short little path and be at the first little town and like get your next objective that's leading you to basically going to school. So you got to make your way to the academy. Yeah. But if you go like right into this large open field, you can keep going for so long. There's so many Pokemon there. They're just out in the wild. You still have to fight them and catch them. You can't just like throw out the ball like Arceus and try and catch them. So I've seen a little bit of like a lament of that. But I this is what I wanted from Arceus.
Wait, don't you have to beat them down usually to capture them?
Sometimes you don't.
Maybe on like maybe early game you could do it on like the level 1 dudes.
But I felt like once you go into battle here, you didn't even have to hit some of them. You just throw the ball and catch them so early. Yeah, it's been very generous.
Yeah.
So I like that it has kind of like the openness of Arceus, less of like the researchy angle. Because in Arceus, like you need to like study all these Pokemon.
Yeah.
So that got tedious to me. I don't enjoy that out of Pokemon. I like the more traditional experience. It just becomes so repetitive and samey over these last entries that taking what they did with Arceus and now applying it to a more traditional Pokemon formula, it was enough for me to make me feel like I was having a good time.
Yeah. I agree. Big time. I picked the duck, by the way.
Quack, quack, quack.
Quack. I don't know his name because I named mine.
Quacksworth.
I named mine Yozora, and I have no idea what his name is.
Sophia picked the little sombrero lizard.
Oh, that guy's cool.
Good.
The fire guy.
Yeah,
that guy's cool. I like that guy too. I think these were good starters.
Apple. Yeah.
They were good starters, I think. But Damiani, so early on in the game, you go to this academy. They're like, "Hey, you're a student here." But then they get to this point, which I thought was really cool. Is here's your 3 main tasks throughout the game.
Yeah, it's like Breath of the Wild.
It's like,
style, right?
You could do the gym route. You can collect the gems, go battle the gyms, and there's like you fight the Stars members, guys who are just Team Rocket, I assume.
Yeah.
Then the third thing is, I haven't done it yet, so I don't know exactly what it is.
Titans.
You like collect Titans. This guy like wants recipes or
yeah,
food
he wants to be like craft like the best sandwiches and food, but he needs these ingredients that are only held by these Titan like giant Pokemon.
Okay,
so those are like the raid fights that you might have like seen.
Oh, right.
Because there's like food that gives you buffs, but they say like some of them say raid buffs. I'm like, whoa, they're kind of taking this a little bit like more seriously, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so you've those 3 major objectives, and they mark them on the giant, huge map. This awesome, really diverse-looking map, and they're like, you have your 2 characters, your friend and the culinarian person, who are like, no, you're supposed to do this. Like, you should go east if you want to do my thing. And the other girl's like, no, you want to go to the gym. You want to go west. And then, like, on the phone call, like, the mysterious hacker dude's like, the one who's trying to get you to take down the Team Rocket star group. He's like, well, you should do whatever you want, but if you want to do my thing, here are those things, and they're scattered all about. And it's like, cool. And they're like, here's a west gate, east gate. You go back south if you want, back out where you started from, and try and figure out a different way to go. It's just like, have fun, like go out there and tackle these objectives, and you got this really comprehensive overworld map and a map interface where you can like set your destinations. You have fast travel available like right from the get-go to any place you've like any Poke Center or major town you've been to. And I mean, I was kind of overwhelmed in like the school town area, with all like the shops. Like I
thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, it's like all the shops you can go in. Like there was a neighborhood on the way to the school, which looked really cool. But I was like, man, you couldn't go into any building.
So that's the thing. Unless it's like a shop, you can't go into these buildings.
Which I wish they could do more.
That's classic Pokemon, isn't it?
You
can go in
they
houses.
used to be like random. Maybe there are, because I'll be honest. Like after we leave the school, we set out. That's as far as I've played. I have not gone beyond that.
I did one gym.
So I don't know if any of the other towns have like random buildings to go into, because you used to be going to department stores, random like person's house, like to talk with someone. Maybe there wasn't always something interesting in there, but sometimes there was like the dev rooms and some of those like offices in like the big cities. I don't know if that's in here, but you see that first town. It looks so nice and inviting. I just want to go in and check some houses, and you go to the door. It's like, all right, cool. And like not every NPC can even talk to, though. They do have text bubbles as you approach them, so like they look like they're having a conversation.
Yeah. Some of the text bubbles are. I'm gonna go with the grass cat, by the way. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of the text bubbles are so funny. Sophia came upon a dude standing next to a cliff, and the text bubble above his head just says, "I hope I don't fall." And he's just staring off the side of a cliff, like really close to it.
Speaking of
Pokemon.
falling off, there's some interesting quality of life things. One of them is if you do fall from a high enough place, there's just a button prompt that says, would you just like to go back up where you fell from?
Oh.
So like it's probably for kids if like
Yeah.
I accidentally ran off because it's new, more open world, traditional Pokemon. You fall down, it's like, oh, how do I get back up there? Like, just hit a button, you go back up. Or you can use glitches. You know?
If you want.
You
Yeah,
wanna
I
use
saw
glitches.
Bloworth posted one.
I did utilize. I tried
Or
it
was that
out.
you? Did it work?
I got to an area with it was in the starting area, that first like route area.
Yes.
If you go left, so go straight past the town. There's like a bunch of like hills, like cliff sides you can go up, but you're supposed to not be able to go any further. I got to an area with like Pokemon 10 levels higher than where I was.
Boundary breaking.
I really tried to catch one because like, oh, this will so break the game having a
But,
high level.
yeah,
but then I lost. And I was like,
It's doable.
Okay.
You can
So
do it.
the trick was, I guess, was if you jump backwards on your mount or whatever, you could like go up
Yeah.
hills
It's
you're not
not
supposed
as
to.
super easy as it like
Right.
looks. It does take a little bit of a few attempts, but like I'm not gonna try it anymore. I'm like, nah, I don't want to ruin this experience. I just want to play through normally. I don't want to like.
Yeah.
I already feeling that first route area. I spent probably an hour just going around catching as many Pokemon
Yeah,
as I
I
can.
caught
to make
quite
it-
a few too.
And I was every trainer I came. So they do have the trainer battles, but they don't stop you in your tracks. You have to approach them, talk to them.
Yeah, I beat, like,
and then
10 kids.
Yeah, and they even have like a dude at the Pokemart in the end of the first route that says like, "Hey, we have a challenge. If you beat this many trainers, we'll give you a special prize." And like,
Yeah, I got a prize.
yeah, I already beat. I didn't even know that till I got to him. I was like, "Oh, you're like you beat 10. Congratulations! Here's some prize." It's like so there is a bit of incentive.
And you get paid too.
Yeah, but I
give
was
you
like
money.
steamrolling everything, so I think the same old thing of
So I did wipe
Okay.
once at the gym.
okay. Tell me about.
So
this.
let me just tell you about the journey
this.
going to the gym real
Yeah.
quick. So I went to this town. I go to the gym. They're like, you got to do this trial thing to be able to fight the gym leader or whatever. I was like,
Okay.
all right, fine. I go outside and it's like so this gym leader was a bug person. So they had me do this thing where I push like a giant seed around through an obstacle course. And that was it. And I was like, all right, now I can fight the gym leader, I guess. It was like weird, but at least something kind of different. So I was like, fine, whatever. One of the systems in this game is the I don't know what it's called, the crystallization of your Pokemon.
Terrastalized.
I call it like foul seed, whatever, Final Fantasy
Sure.
13 shit, turn the crystal. The boss,
That's
so
called
I didn't
Diamond
know
Dust.
this, but I asked Chad after this. Their last Pokemon I was steamrolling this guy. They get their last Pokemon out, and it gave me the turn to attack it. I attacked it, but then it did its crystal thing, and it just snowballed me. I couldn't do anything. It was one-shotting every Pokemon I had. And once Chad's like, yeah, they always do this on your last Pokemon. I was like, oh, okay. So then I fought him again, just like, won. But I was just like, damn, I got snowballed by this fucking thing.
Sophia's had a few experiences where, like, she was out in the wilderness and she had, like, one level, like, 32 Pokemon, but most of her things were, like, early 20s, I think. And, like, this deer thing with branch antlers with flowers on it looked pretty cool. Showed up and it was, like, level 40. And she fought it a couple of times and then got it and captured it.
nice.
So it just took a minute, but you can win those, but it's tricky.
Yeah, there's like all these stats I don't know about in like Pokemon. Like when I was playing on stream, Chad was telling me like, yeah, this Pokemon's. I like didn't even know there was multiple weaknesses for Pokemon. I was used
Yeah.
to the days of like, I play water Pokemon. Lightning's bad or whatever, or green, I guess. But there's just more types I don't know about.
Yeah.
All these stats I don't know what they meant.
A bug, dark, like.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is this?
fairy. Yeah, they
I
had
don't understand their natures. Where they're like inquisitive or
I don't know.
mighty.
I have
or-
no idea.
Yeah, and then there's like, so the one thing they do is they have like a more comprehensive like interface for the Pokédex now. They look like
Yeah, I like it. It's like a little
encyclopedia
book.
entries.
It's pretty.
They go on a shelf.
Yeah, I like that.
And they give you all the information about them, but also show you like which regions you can catch more of them in. Something I saw, I didn't know this, but I actually saw it on a glimpse on Kyle's stream because he's playing it because apparently he likes it too. Person who hates Pokemon apparently likes this one. He put away a Pokemon into his box and he explained why. Because I was like, why did that look like a good Pokemon? When you go to the stat, like the not hexagon, the pentagon, next to each like attribute, there might be an up arrow or down arrow.
Yes.
And if you get any with a down arrow, you want to like just pocket that and not use it. Like because
I didn't know about
you want
this
like
either.
up arrows because that means their stats will scale better with each level. So,
But then someone said you could like re-roll stats later with an item. I was like, what?
I didn't know about this, but it does. Yeah, the point is, it can get pretty comprehensive if you want to dive into that, and it looks like it's still there.
Yeah, I don't think it's needed to get through the game, but
absolutely not.
But if you want to get crazy,
I will say I do lament the quality of life update in Arceus, where all the post-battle shit happens on a sidebar while you're moving.
That's nice.
And even when you catch a Pokemon, it's nice to see that like whole presentation the first time. I'm at the point where I'm like, can we just do like a fast option where just like auto does it while I keep moving because it's so slow paced. I feel like at this point.
So I got to ask you because you played Arceus. Did Arceus run as bad as this?
Yeah. I think Arceus didn't have the bugs, but performance-wise, it had the same issues. I think fidelity-wise, it might have looked a little bit worse than
Because like
this.
people get 30 feet away from you, then they drop like to 10 frames a second when they're moving.
It has those issues. Like it drove me insane. I thought maybe it was a stylistic choice, like they're going for like Peanuts or like stop motion animation in the school, in this classroom. The classroom scene where everyone's just like moving at like 10 frames a second. And I was like, it looked like an aesthetic choice. I'm like, oh, is this like for some kind of purpose?
Artistic choice.
Because it's a tiny classroom. I'm like, why? And then the cutscene ends and everyone moves normal like 30 frames a second. I'm like, wait, what?
I think Game Freak and artistic choice don't usually go together.
I was like, oh, this kind of looks cool if it was intentional, but I don't think it is. Yeah, there's always like weird camera angles when you are in the end of a battle where like it'll show you like underground, like you'll see underneath the world.
Yeah.
Every time I left the shop in the school town, I'd be like this ejected animation that looked goofy as shit, and I'd be like all spun around. There are times where like falling off like trying to slide down like a cliff or something, like T-pose for a second or something like that. Yeah, and then of course riding on the motorcycle, there's been some like jank here and there.
Like jump on that thing. It's
and just general performance at points, like the pop in and all that type of stuff.
Stinky switch.
Sophia had one last night where it was raining, and her character was inside, like talking to people at a shop, and then her character started doing the sandstorm like animation, so she was just like reacting like this.
I mean,
it was funny.
I wish this was all on purpose because some of these glitch
Some
videos
are hilarious.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like Dicklet is the best. That is my favorite one.
Dicklet? Elaborate.
There's a
Diglett
Diglett underneath the.
Did you say Dicklet?
You fully said Dicklet.
Yes, on purpose, but let me explain how this works.
Please explain.
So Diglett appears under the enemy trainer, like literally underneath them.
Oh no!
But it's the trainer is not the active fight. Like you're trying to capture a Diglett, so it's like confusing the two. So you toss out a Pokeball to catch it in this video. It hits the trainer kid in the private parts and zaps them there, and then Diglett appears and comes out like a dick.
That's good.
And then it attacks your Pokemon.
That's good. That's good. Well done, Game Freak.
I was like, that's amazing. Then there's one where like you're having a battle and some dude just like photobombs through the middle all pushed out.
Oh, I do like the photo mode.
Where like a man will just walk straight toward you in the middle of a fight.
I've been taking pictures of selfies on the kids I beat and stolen their money from for my character going like this and shit.
Yeah.
It's been good RP.
My favorite is like, because the little kids will be wearing like suits sometimes. So
they're like school uniform?
Like watching Sophia play, it looked like there was just a tiny man like floating on the road.
Yeah.
But it was just a kid. But he looked like proportionally just like a tiny little man. And then she like approached him. I thought he was like way farther away, and then he was just right there. It was really good.
Yeah. The bugs and stuff, obviously a shame. And Game Freak maybe needs Game Freak and the Pokemon Company really need to.
They need to not do two big Pokemon games in a year.
I don't know who's ultimately in charge of the decision
time.
for the scheduling of this, but they need to have faith that it'll be fine if you take an extra year in a Pokemon game.
It will sell just fine.
I understand.
But like my question is about this is, will any of these performance issues impact the bottom line in any meaningful way?
It's already setting records, apparently.
Exactly. So it's like they can pump out 2-3 of these a year, no new gameplay, bad performance, and it prints money. It's like wild.
I don't think it's that they're doing it because they don't care. I think it's just.
I don't think they don't care. I just think it's interesting that they don't have to care.
They want. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I
it's a
agree with
rare
that.
circumstance.
Yeah.
They
Reposition.
need a major new Pokemon game every fiscal year. It seems like that's like the mandate from them. Arceus was in last fiscal year because it came out in January.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So that's probably why. But like, if Arceus could have come out like in April, because they already had Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl last year, the remake.
Right.
So if Arceus came out in this fiscal year, I think that would have been fine for this year and push Scarlet Violet into next fiscal year.
Yes.
Give it like at least 6 to 12 more months.
Yes.
Did they ever do big expansions? They could have done like
They
DLC.
Sword and Shield had
expansion.
DLC as
That's
well.
what I thought.
I mean,
yeah.
they should have, dude. If they made the new Pokemon like a launch game on the new Nintendo system, whenever it's coming out, huge.
This technically
my
is
God.
coming out more time between Sword and Shield to this because Sword and Shield was what 2020.
Yeah, but it's like
2 teams, right?
Well, I believe
yeah.
it's Game Freak,
I don't know
but I
how
don't know
many
their
people
internal.
are-
I don't know how their internal
their
development
studios,
teams
yeah.
work.
I
I'm
thought
not familiar with that.
I thought they started
Arceus was
on this
clearly a different
before-
team. There's no
yeah.
way they got this out.
Right.
But
They made this game in 4 months.
I don't. If this team had been working on this for at least 2 years since Sword and Shield, then they probably need more time. Because I was going to propose,
Yeah,
with
that's not a lot of
with
time.
Pokemon Legends maybe being another series they could do, just like alternating years, so each one has a 2-year cycle. But maybe these games are. This is a pretty ambitious game, and I think they need more. They need more than 2 years for this.
for their ideas, they do.
Yeah, this
Why-
game. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say, why don't you think, like, I know obviously Game Freak isn't Nintendo, but I wonder how much internally Nintendo shares engines and tech and stuff. Because it's like, just throw this shit on the Breath of the Wild engine. Like, that thing looked great and ran well.
I'm blanking at the
Comparatively.
moment. If they're what they share resource wise, but this definitely could have benefited from having more involvement potentially. Like Pokemon Company reaching out to Nintendo, being like,
They clearly need some support.
Can Monolith Soft maybe
Yeah,
assist
yes.
Game Freak in
Right,
creating
'cause-
in developing this because
Yeah.
this game, I think, as I was saying earlier, that has so much potential.
Yep.
If they could just tune it up a little bit and maybe add a little bit more to the world. Like Monolith Soft, I think
Yes.
has that like secret sauce for like the dangling carrot of why you want to explore these large. It's not seamless open world. It's large MMO style environments, and that's also what Pokemon is doing as well. There's still like gates at each thing. You can't just seamlessly walk over to the next zone. You have to go through some kind of like transition to
progression
get
thing.
there. And I think Monolith Soft could help. Like from what I've seen, the environments are like okay. Like there's some intrigue to them, but like I think they could spruce it up a little bit with more like landmark type structures.
Yeah, the game is just kind of ugly when I think about it.
I mean, it's crazy to me
Basic.
that
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles or
I guess
like
that's a better word.
Monster Hunter Rise or especially Breath of the Wild can be on the same system as this from years ago, and this is having this kind of problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just didn't have enough time. Whoever's making those calls.
Yeah. I mean, also like they don't need to go that route, but like I mean, talking like the Zelda team, like about meaningful objectives. Like yes, catching Pokemon is your primary thing, but I came across something in the first route, like a glowy circle with chains over a cave door entrance I couldn't open, and some glowing giant sword or something on a cliff I couldn't reach.
I know what those are.
So I was like, are there like special areas and like maybe dungeon like I mean I just imagine there's gonna be like the caves,
Right, yeah. But it's something.
something with you said like the seed rolling whatever, like maybe more activities like mini game type stuff could be sprinkled into each of the
Yeah,
zones.
absolutely.
Yeah,
This game is a step in the right direction, in my opinion, for design. Like, their ideas I like a lot more, but it's just not running. It's not up to snuff.
I liken it to those two games. I was trying to think of two games coming to mind. The one Bayonetta 3 with some of the ideas they were trying to do there. I think
totally.
You know,
They're-
not everything.
the hardware, yeah.
There's some swings and some hits and a few misses there, but same here. This is a good blueprint.
Yeah.
They just need to.
This is the most exciting Pokemon's been for me in a long time.
Yeah, executives just need to like have a little bit more faith that it'll still sell no matter what, and give it more time. I get yes, why wait when we could just put out something every 6 to 12 months and it still sells as much? But I don't know, like it. I don't know enough about the internal structure. Like, do they not have enough resources?
I don't know.
Or are they are people just getting burnt out and like they churn through a lot of people? I don't know. But if any of those are an issue, it's like, well, do yourself a favor. You're still gonna make cash hand over fist with like
you're
so
still
much
gonna
amount of
make
money flowing in. Just take a little bit more time. Maybe have some smaller projects in between, like the remake
Experimental.
projects. There's so many other games you can revisit.
Oh my God, I
and
forgot
Let's
about
Go.
those
They
came
could
out
do
too.
another Let's Go style game.
Yeah.
And those still sell very well.
Yeah.
Just
I
please
honestly
take more
wonder
time.
if they have some kind of like internal metric or like, their financial papers or whatever just show that it's just not worth it. Like, get the game to 80% and that's good enough. It'll print money.
I mean, I don't know if they're even going to patch this stuff. Like, I hope they do.
One would
I
have
no
thought
idea
they would
with
have patched
Nintendo.
it by now.
I never know with them.
Like, yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know with Nintendo ever.
Like, it... I mean, yeah, well, with Game Freak, I don't remember, like, Arceus got some updates.
Okay.
But I don't know, I forget how long it took for, like, the first one. So I would imagine by a month out, which sucks that that's so long,
Right.
but I imagine by sometime December,
They'll get a
hopefully
patch.
there'll
I
be
think
an
Nintendo
update.
is less strict than Sony for like patches and updates and stuff approvals wise.
Maybe.
But
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
how
their
slow
first
it is.
party, too, so...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sorry, they're not first party
Second
Game
party?
Freak,
First
but,
party
I mean,
minus?
they have the same priority access that
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nintendo would, like,
They're
waive
probably-
anything.
oh, yeah,
And it wouldn't
yeah,
be treated
absolutely.
like a...
Yeah, they're all but first party.
We had a lot of people writing about Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, sure.
This is from Seaton McLean. Hey, allies. As usual, the new Pokemon game is out, and people are complaining about it. There are many things that the franchise has been accused of in the past. Poor visuals, poor performance, no voice acting, lack of innovation in design, etc. As far as I can tell, as a longtime fan of the franchise, they're guilty on every charge.
I was gonna say these aren't complaints; they're just facts.
These games hardly change their aesthetic or core design from release to release. The visual quality and performance somehow doesn't seem to improve either. Should we expect better things from one of the most profitable brands of all time? Or because we all keep buying these release after release, should we ever expect change?
I don't know about that last part.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to think that they would just want to make these games better and better and better.
That's the thing that kind of blows my mind.
I
Is like,
don't know.
do you have no personal pride, Game Freak? Like,
Yeah. Or
what's the
it's
deal?
Like, yeah,
like,
'cause
I wouldn't have put this
I'm
out.
sure the devs working on the game are like, we want this game better,
Right.
Because they're the ones making it, but it just depends on whoever's
yeah.
calling the shots.
I think, yeah, that's the problem. Like, I think there's just people above them who are like, this is what you're doing.
'Cause, like,
do whatever. This is the only
if-
time you have to do it. So if you don't
If
get done
Call
by
of
then,
Duty,
sorry.
If Call of Duty next year, rumoredly taking a year off, there won't be a new Call of Duty. There'll be like new content for Modern Warfare, but I know. But it's not a full new game for the first time in a long time. Maybe there's some hope for Game Freak.
I don't think it's impossible. I know, like, that latter thing is, like, the joke is, like, they'll never change because of everything we were talking about. But I feel like there have been, that example and others have shown that there is a point where a company will just be like, let's just maybe take a little bit more time, or let's change this slightly. Then not necessarily because they were forced to, it's just something just clicks with them. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, we can do this. So I still have a small amount of hope that one day they will like be like, hey, there'll be no new major mainline Pokemon this year.
I mean, to
we'll
me,
have
I
more
think-
news for you next year about what we're working on.
I think what it boils down to is like target audience, right? Like, obviously, we come from the enthusiast, like big time nerd into this kind of side, but like the target demo, like Call of Duty, right? They come out every year, but they're technologically pretty impressive.
Yes,
they look
they are.
great, they sound incredible, they play well, but like that's because the target audience for that expects that, right? The target audience for Pokemon
Expects garbage.
no, but just like it's not a priority. Like the priority is new Pokemon, new place, cool new things to do in Pokemon to catch, and like that's what you care about. And like obviously not every Pokemon fan is a kid, but like Pokemon is also targeted toward kids, and it's like they don't care. Probably
Yeah,
maybe I don't know.
maybe.
I don't have kids, but like. I think it's just not their priority. Like graphical fidelity and frame rate
Right.
isn't their bread and butter because having 300
I
new
don't
Pokemon
think
is their
it
bread and
has
butter.
to be bread and butter either. But I think it's such a poor level.
Oh, for
it's
sure.
not even like
It's
an
astonishing.
acceptable state.
it's a series that's been rooted in being a portable handheld series.
Right.
It's never been a console series.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Now that it's a hybrid, there is no dedicated portable. I think we've seen during the Switch era the growing pains of Game Freak become apparent. So
Yeah.
that's why I say with some optimism. Like, I'm not the complete doom and gloom, because yes, you could read it as like, what incentive do they have? Like, this is fine for them. They're still selling.
Yeah.
But part of me is like, I think they do care, and I think it's just like every other Nintendo studio has shown, outside of maybe Monolith Soft, that they take a lot longer than we expect for them to
Yes,
adjust to
that's true.
new standards, whether it's like higher fidelity, aka moving to HD, like with the Wii U. Like, it seems like there were some good games, but
Yeah.
like that was a weird step, and then
Sure
we got
was.
the
Yeah.
Switch, and it's like they also working with that hardware.
Yeah.
And Game Freak doubly so, because, as I said, being rooted in mobile handheld, now it's like, oh yeah, we gotta make
don't
a
have
game
that excuse
looks a
anymore.
little bit better, and they're like just. I think
Which
they're
again
just,
makes me surprised. Like, obviously they're not going to use like Unreal or Unity or something for one of these, probably, because like I don't feel like Nintendo would go in for that. But
they
like,
always do their own thing.
I'm surprised. Yeah, but I'm surprised that Nintendo and Monolith and whoever, like the first party adjacent stuff, like haven't just like come together and been like, here's the engine that runs really well on the Switch. Use it. Just use this engine, because it would like save everybody time and effort, and then Game Freak could pump these out at the pace they currently are, but with stability.
Yeah, I'm not. See, that's where I'm not like totally sure about like the tech wise, like what first party studios like are using.
Yeah.
Definitely, certain studios are better.
Because didn't Digital Foundry say like this is not a hardware problem? Like this game is just not optimized.
And that's the thing. I think like again, it's like I think it's part of like Game Freak's like trouble adjusting
Right.
to this. Like they but your argument stands. They could use some help. Like
They need
maybe just
help.
ask for some assistance there, and another team could show them like maybe try this or try this. It'll
Right,
help you
right.
work better, or your game will come out better. But like even in the past, like there've been actually third parties that knew Nintendo's hardware better than them.
Yeah.
With like Rogue Squadron and like
Level 5.
yeah,
No, Factor 5, not
Level
Level 5.
5 is
They're different.
Canadian stuff. But yeah, like Factor 5, and before them Rare, like coming in and like
Right,
showing
yeah.
them like, hey, we know how to do stuff on your system.
Yeah,
That like
you don't.
interviews showed like Nintendo would be like internally like, wait, how did you do that? Like even before that on Super Nintendo, like. Just getting stuff that Nintendo thought wasn't even possible, like Donkey Kong Country with that,
yeah.
like
Right.
their
Oh, yeah.
ACM stuff,
Insane.
advanced computer
Well,
modeling.
but that's the thing is like obviously it's not easy.
Yeah.
Like optimization is magic. It's like witchcraft. If you like do it well, especially on low level hardware like a Switch, it's incredible. It's amazing. So if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
I think so,
but-
yes. But the one thing they have going against them is they are doing one SKU
Yeah.
for this whole thing. I think about like Saints Row that came out, which was a disaster technically,
Right.
in a lot of other ways. But that was on like so many platforms, and it's like, yo, you're on one platform.
Yeah.
One. I
You should
expect
have the
better,
specs, yeah.
yeah,
and you're like the biggest fucking company.
I do think the last year, some of these instances, obviously, like Pokemon, have been. It's a coding issue. It's the studio issue, not necessarily just the hardware. Sorry, not a hardware problem, not even primarily a hardware problem. But I mean, there've been other games that came out in 2022 that like have shown some like performance issues,
Yeah.
and it's it is aging hardware. It's hard to argue that in 4 or 5 months it's going to be 6 years old. Which is like,
I just came up with a conspiracy theory.
oh great, Nintendo fans love conspiracy theories.
Due to I don't think this is true, but due to part shortages, due to COVID, the Switch 2 Pro whatever was meant to come out in 2020, and all of these games were supposed to be on that.
Yes.
Is this a common
You
theory?
are
Dude.
restating a very common like
Okay,
theory
okay.
/ backed up with reports / like leaks and stuff that
Okay, so I didn't go with this at all.
Nintendo had a second SKU that was not a light, that was not just the simple OLED refresh, that these games were planned to be on a slightly more powerful piece of hardware, and that's why they're all suffering. And it's like
I don't think it's true, but
I don't like who like at this point, whatever. It's like fine.
Yeah, whatever
That's
it
my
is,
life
the case
motto.
was. We're talking about what the reality is in the situation
Yeah,
now,
true.
and it's
But-
not good.
I know. And it stinks because some of these, like this game has a lot of good ideas, and I think they had more time, better understand, like just better assistance, whether it's their not lack of understanding of like the coding or on the for the hardware, software, whatever it is, or just it was as simple as more time. This game could have been so much better. And I hope the takeaway from this is that we rushed this, but we had a lot of good ideas, and this was fair criticism. It's gonna sell a lot no matter what, but like maybe higher ups, please. Like, would you like to win an award? Would you like Jeff Keighley to say your name at the Game Awards and be like Pokemon Universe or some shit or whatever? Pokemon Galaxy,
Pokemon Star,
Space Pokemon.
Yeah,
Dude.
Just coming up with and there's Sun and Moon already.
We already got Sun and Moon.
Yeah, but that was not.
Was that in space?
No, it's
No.
like Hawaii.
Well, there you go. Hawaii feels like another planet. It's
Jupiter
perfect.
and Mars.
Yeah, there you go.
Hawaii is perfect.
And there's Team Jupiter and whatever.
Fuck, really?
Or Team Mars or something.
There-
One of
yeah.
them was like an evil team.
Team
but,
Jupiter sounds
But it's like,
familiar.
sorry, as Isla was saying, the prestige there that. I mean, do you want to take home some awards? Like, when's the last time Pokemon's won a damn award or anything like that?
Yeah.
Like, sales don't buy you awards necessarily.
But
But
maybe-
awards don't buy you sales, and that's what they want.
But
so.
both, like award,
they do, actually,
So
I think,
like,
probably.
Pokemon games are gonna sell forever.
Yes.
There is no little incentive, but there may come a time where it's like you're at the end of your career. You know, one of those Pokemon people. It's like you can point to, man, I had a lot of big selling things, but like I don't know, it's. Some people prefer to have, they were great selling, but also they were award winning. So I made quality, not just like shit we shoveled out because it was the hot thing everyone wanted. And like,
I'm picturing a man
know.
like Dr. Pokemon, like in his tower, like hand on the glass, just like looking out over his empire, and he's like, "But we never won a game award."
the only other thing, I don't know if you even got to mess with it yet, is I'm seeing some talk about like praise about the co-op.
I haven't messed with that
the
yet.
first Pokemon Center to show you how you can use it. You could set yourself to online mode, and you could play with other people, and you could do raid battles
Mhm.
with other people, just like Sword and Shield, and introduced that with the Dynamax, whatever,
Dynamax,
Yeah, yeah.
raid
Dynamis, whatever.
But it's back. But apparently, you could play easier through that, and it's like a simple passcode to make a lobby, and you can just have share your code, and people join your room or whatever. And
But it's only for the raid? Or
I
is it
think you
for-
could run around and stuff.
Whoa.
Like it's like
I don't think
believe.
the switch will blow up.
I think it's two people. It's
Okay.
co-op or something. But
Okay.
then like the raid fights, it's its own thing,
Four,
kind of like that.
right. Okay.
But I just seen people like say positive things about it, so that seems to be another like a good thing to take away that they could build upon, because I know more than just competitive battling, like cooperative online Pokemon has been a thing some people have been pushing for, something I personally would probably be a little bit more interested in than just like PvP style battles.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have an entry from Mike Cook. This is a very interesting perspective. Hi, wonderful people. I feel like I am taking crazy pills because my playthrough so far with Pokemon Violet has been more than okay. I am 15 hours in.
More than okay.
I have played in it both portable and docked mode, and I am not witnessing any bugs or severe performance issues. At most, the game's frame rate dips when exploring crowded areas. Am I having a different experience, or are people overinflating how often we encounter issues in the game? I know some of my friends who do go insane when the frame rate dips, like they lose their minds, and the game is unplayable. Is what this could be? Weird sentence. Frame rate dips, lose their minds, and deem the game unplayable. Is that what this could be? Love always, Mike Cook. Mike, I think you're insane. I don't know how you're seeing it. I love you, Mike. I don't know how you're seeing it.
I will say, Sophia herself has had wildly variable experiences where, like, sometimes docked or handheld, the game is fine.
Well, people said there's
And
a
then
memory
other
leak with this game,
Yeah, so you have to restart it every couple hours.
which is
but, like,
terrible.
which is crazy. But like, you're not crazy, is what I'm trying to say. Is like Sophia has played it where like on day A, it'll run like garbage, and then the next day the game will be fine.
I think Pokemon fans are just used to getting beat down by technical limits.
Stockholm
I think they have
syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's noticeable immediately.
it's very to me.
You both of you notice frame
True.
rate very much.
True.
I don't always notice it
'cause
unless
I've
it's
played on
moving up
PC.
and down all the
But
time.
this is like even amongst like Switch games, it does stand out to me from the very beginning that even walking outside your house at the beginning, it's going around. I went around it to just explore, like noticing like the dips that happen just there, and anytime you come across like a new open area, it just starts happening.
Yep.
That to me, that stinks, but it would be probably a little bit more tolerable because it was happening in Arceus, and I'm like, okay, this sucks. I wish it ran better, but it's still playable.
Yeah.
But throwing all these bugs that are atypical. It's never been Nintendo games. They obviously have bugs in them, but they're kind of known for having better quality control, and this just kind of flies in the face of that. So
because with their games, they take so long to bring them out because they want them to be perfect or extremely excellent when they come out. And this is the exact opposite.
First party Nintendo games, I think they'll let them take as much time as they need to. There is probably a point where they're the executives okay, you need to release this. It's time. But I feel like from first party studios, if they saw a game in this state, they'd probably be like, no.
Yeah, no,
keep
we're not
working on this.
Yeah.
Because Game Freak and Pokemon Company are not that, they get that they can do what they want, and because of all the reasons we talked about again and again, beating a dead horse, they're like, no, release it. It's gonna sell. We don't care. We could fix it later. I think they just have I don't know. Is there any amount of outcry or backlash going to the reviews?
Don't know.
The reviews weren't as harsh, I think, in general. They did some called out the stuff, but it still scored pretty well for a game that had these amount of
70s last time I checked.
Yeah.
Do you think
that's even at swinging sevens? You wouldn't look at this and be like swinging sevens. That's still fun.
Yeah.
It's not six. It's not getting 6s and 5s and staying in the 6 and 5 range.
Do you think Pokemon fans, like I said earlier, are just used to this?
I think it's partially it's this expectations.
Because as someone who doesn't play many Pokemon games, when I come into this game, it's very noticeable.
I don't think this has only been a thing, I think, during the Switch era. Everything pre-Switch, I think it was just expected that you're getting more of the same. There might be a few new features, but at least fidelity-wise,
it ran
for 3DS,
fine.
DSS, this looks pretty nice for a 3DS, DS name. This runs well. It's unique to Switch. Starting with Sword and Shield, I think this is where this issue began.
They're in the Square Enix place that they were in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I think Let's Go Eevee didn't, because it was more of a
later.
traditional style Pokemon game, the sort of remake of Red and Blue. Was fine. Didn't have these issues, but it was a different style of Pokemon game. But Sword and Shield, Arceus, and now Scarlet and Violet. This is something they need to figure out, because I do feel like this is something that maybe this happens again, but they don't add as much new stuff. I think they got away with Arceus and this being kind of the most unique jumps in trying different stuff in the series in a long time. So it might have got a little bit of a pass because expectations have been set, and now they beat those types of expectations. Oh, wow, they're doing new stuff. I got to reward them for doing that, right? They've been doing the same thing for so long. They don't keep doing that, and they keep having these problems. I think there might be a recipe for that game for the Open Critic, Metacritic to be 6s or something, and Game Freak's oh shit, and I don't know. Maybe that word of mouth, it sells well in its initial month, but watch word of mouth spread, and yes, we're not the target audience or something, but we do add up in the sales. I think every sale
buying the game?
Every sale matters.
You think 5-year-olds are buying that shit?
So maybe there's a core group that won't care, but I think if they ever saw a sales decline in one of these mainline entries, it would be give them pause. Maybe we should take more time.
Well, what's funny is it's not like they're taking huge visual style swings. It's not the most graphically impressive game on the Switch, and it runs poorly. It's both not very graphically impressive, and it runs poorly.
I mean, I'll leave it to the experts, but I mean, I look at it and I see something that's between good end PS3 and the highest end of GameCube PS2 fidelity from this. It's better than most any PS2 GameCube era game by a good bout, but I think there's some high end PS3 games that look better technically than this.
Which if that's your target, that's totally fine. If that's your artistic choice and your style choice, it's got to run well.
Yeah.
Because we're 10 years after that, or more.
I'd say it's got to run decent. At least.
Metal Gear Solid 4 looks way better than this game.
Oh, I mean,
and that's on PlayStation 3. Grand Theft Auto 4 looks better than this and runs better than this, and that was on PS3. And Switch is more powerful than PS3 hardware, but it's I don't know.
It just makes me think something about the way the Pokemon are going, or like the different character customizations work, or so. It's just poor optimization. Because it's like there are indie games that look better than this, that run better than
I think the solution is it's going to take more time to work out.
Yeah.
They keep using their old tricks,
Yeah.
and we're starting to see like how faulty they are. Like they're not holding up,
Yeah.
and they just don't want to take the extra time to let's recode this a better way. And they're like someone at the top's like, no, that takes too long. Don't do that. Just whatever. Keep doing this.
Because I mean, like maybe it's something like something's wrong with like the weather code or the wind code or something, and that like if you fixed it, it would fix everything. But it's like it takes 2 months to like root that out. You know.
Which is I wish they would just bring in some outside help and take like an extra. If I don't know how long it would take, but if it only took like an extra year to bring in another like a Monolith Soft or some other team at Nintendo to just assist with those issues, to help them work through, to modernize their coding. Please do it.
Please do it.
I know you don't listen to this podcast, but
Well, what's funny is they didn't fix them from Sword and Shield and then just use that same engine for Arceus and this. Because it's like...
it's just expanded. It's the wild zones and Sword and Shield is expanded. And,
but it's like... it's not a huge leap in quality. So it's like you've had 3 tries at an open world engine. Why is it still broken? Just you're using the same thing.
Yeah, that part of it has been the same for a while. I think they're not that's not as impressive anymore. It's more like the open nature of the objectives. Like, and welcome to like a few years ago where everyone's been doing this, but it's a nice, refreshing change, at least for Pokemon, is here are a bunch of objectives. Go do them as you see fit. I mean, I like that. Arceus was, here's a zone, go tackle it as you see fit, but you can't go to the next zone until you've reached a certain research rank, and I hated that. This doesn't have that, so that's why I appreciate this so much. But yeah,
Fabian Winkler. Hi, Elias, I have a question for you regarding Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. With all the money this franchise earns, is it too much to ask that we get full voice acting and cloud save support? Cloud save support should be in all game releases on Switch now.
That's not a money issue.
Yeah, I wish there was some voice acting. That'd be cool.
They don't even have basic features on this thing?
So it's... Do you know why? They do not allow cloud saving because they don't want people to
hack
cheat and get like broken Pokemon
but they even added it
online.
To Animal Crossing eventually.
That doesn't matter because it still happens anyway. It's just stupid. There is no real reason for it. It's a dumb excuse that doesn't hold up. Yeah. Apparently, there is some kind of like stealth backup save feature in this game. I saw Game Explained was the first place I saw it. I don't know if they're the first to talk about it, but there's a button combination you could press that does like a immediate backup save at any point in the game.
Whoa.
It was a way you were talking about like how to get around the memory leak, the restart. This was a faster way to like make a save, quit out, and get back in really quick, so like it wasn't a hassle to keep doing that. So they were spreading that video just to try and as a PSA, like if you want to fix your game and like restart every few hours,
faster than the manual save,
because it's like fast save where it like kicks you out of the game but saves and like
quick save.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's like no return to title or whatever in there. Yeah.
Right.
Alex Garcia asks my favorite question: how long can Pokemon keep getting away with this?
I mean,
forever.
Until the game gets like
until the wheels fall
until
off.
the game averages like a 5, or there's a game-breaking bug that's like everyone's getting to it. We can't beat the game.
Yeah.
And there's like
I don't think they care about reviews at all. I think it's only sales.
Yeah, I don't think they care about that for Pokemon at least.
Yeah. The only reason they would ever change is if the sales go down. And so far they've been going up to my knowledge.
I think Nintendo might say something to Pokemon Company and Game Freak if it got low enough reviews. Like a mainline, be like, hey guys, like
just that's their brand on it.
I mean, they might ignore it too, but like anyone's putting pressure. I mean, they are part stake owner in them. So it's like, hey, one of your shareholders are saying you should maybe consider this. Who's to say? But yeah, I think maybe sales is the most.
I mean, if the stock goes down,
despite all the problems we have with this game, we've been having a good time for a brief amount, which I think is very fascinating still. Despite all my problems with it, I still had fun.
It's weird, and like that just shows that there's still something good there.
Yes.
And like if they just would foster and develop it and just do what we're saying, there's greatness within reach.
Yes.
Like, you can do it. It's not like when I was saying, like, man, you're getting away with shit. Like, this is, like, absolute shit. You should not even be selling this much because your games suck. It's like, your games don't suck. They just have a lot of problems. And, like, you get away with, like, playing it so safe and cutting corners.
Yeah.
And we wish you would just not stop doing that. Also, one last thing. I love how they've been introducing, like, fashion in these games, like, recently. I need fucking more options at the beginning. I hate how long it takes to get to, like, good, like, clothing choices.
That's the grind, baby.
It's the progression.
That you can still have that shit, but I'm tired of every shop only having one type of hat in 70 different colors or one different pair of socks in 70 fucking colors. Like, can I get, like, a few different options? Fuck off.
Yeah, I think with Pokemon in its state, you should be thanking your lucky stars. You're getting those options.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank
Getting
you.
2
Lucky
options.
stars.
Dawn. Dawn,
Right.
are you gonna play?
Pokemon?
Yeah.
No, I've been Damiani. It's interesting. I never knew I shared such a thing.
Cut
with
to
Damiani.
yourself.
I never knew I shared such a thing with Damiani. I've been against Pokemon since I was a little kid too, because it's too popular. But guess what? I never got off that train. I still
wait.
think it's too
And
popular. I refuse to play.
I'm accused of
I
contrarianism.
refuse to play.
You love popular things, though.
I don't. That's the odd thing about me, Brad. So much in life, I love popular things, but it's like after they're not popular anymore. But
Oh, so wait, if Avatar
Once
sets
they're
records,
vintage.
are you out? Are you done? Are you gonna talk shit?
Avatar has to be the third most popular game of all or
Avatar's
movie
a
of all
special
time.
case. Avatar's a special case.
Okay.
But OG Avatar, like, people like say, like, oh, it's forgettable. It was nothing special, right? So even though it was the most successful film, like, money-wise, right? It's still, like...
Well, Avatar, I think the reason I was okay with Avatar
Okay.
is because it had a lot, even though it was popular, it made money. Everyone just turned on it, right? They didn't like it. So somehow I was able to
Okay.
embrace it then. But when
all
things
makes
are
sense.
beloved, like Pokemon, just by universally made pretty much, you know?
Okay.
I'm hard out. I might get on this thing in another 10 years or something. I always, Game of Thrones.
10 years?
I'm thinking
Alright.
of starting to watch Game of Thrones soon. You know?
Don't.
Don't.
I'm gonna get on board with it. I might like that last season.
Oh, no.
Honestly, you probably will.
Don will probably love it.
If
right.
it's universally beloved, I'm hard out.
That's good. That's good. Let's move on from Pokemon and
What?
talk Warhammer.
Oh hell yeah!
40K, Darktide.
Woo!
So this is this is Fat Shark, the developer.
Yes.
They made the Vermintide game.
Hell yeah, they did.
Which were like Warhammer Left 4 Dead, I guess.
Yeah.
Put in simplest term. They're doing 40K now. We're going future, baby. Space marine kind of shit like
Yeah.
that.
With classes and character customization,
Customization,
which is
yeah.
very cool. Background choices, interesting stuff.
Yeah, I played, I think, a beta a while ago. Played the huge ogre guy. Because,
Yeah,
like, how could I
I
not pick that
assumed
guy as the
you
first
did,
time?
yeah.
It was fucking hilarious.
Who do you think I picked?
The magic person?
Yeah.
Yeah, too easy.
We're all too predictable.
Well, I'm going to main a different character
Psyker.
when it actually comes out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I know Huber's going to be the huge
We
boy.
keep our progress now, don't we?
I don't know. I
shit.
couldn't find anything concrete on that. So I,
I
don't
thought
know.
it was just like
Maybe. I have
we've
no
got
idea.
it now.
I have no idea. But anyways, I played a little bit. It was sick. Being the huge guy was stabbing like freaks. It was cool to be
Is
like.
your POV like
yes.
up really high?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
fun.
cool. It was cool. It was fun for that reason. I also like this game is like unlike Vermintide where you can't do characters. You can't have two the same character. This you can be like. The party I was in when I played, we had 3 huge boys
Oh,
and 1
funny,
normal person.
yeah.
So it was fun. But you've been playing it now also because it's in like a beta kind of thing right now.
Yeah, I mean, early days. I just got through the tutorials.
Yeah, tell me.
I've been moving,
that.
and we got the codes like 4 or 5 days ago. So like, I've only been able to play it once. But yeah, I picked the Psyker, I think.
Psyker.
And she like, there's like a story mission at the beginning, similar to Vermintide 2, where you're breaking out or whatever, and then you get into a more specific training thing once you're in like this game's version of the
Hub?
keep, which is like a big spaceship.
Looks cool, huh?
It looks so cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how it like changes and shifts because Vermintide, like you'll come
There's
in and the
players
keep
that
will be
walk
way
around there
different.
too, I believe.
Really?
Like,
Oh wow.
I think when I was playing, there was like a bunch of random people in there, which is cool.
Yeah, but yeah, so far I was like when they previewed this, I was like, okay, is it going to be mostly ranged then? But happily, it still feels like a good balance of melee.
Yeah, there's a lot of
and
melee
range.
and stuff too. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited to dip in and get more into it. I haven't actually played like a game with other people yet
Okay.
because I just did the tutorials.
What do you like? What kind of abilities does your class have?
So it's like a head pop. Like you like concentrate
head?
on somebody and then their head explodes.
Whoa, sick.
and like it's similar to the new magic class they added for Carillion in Vermintide 2.
Which you did not like.
I liked it. I just had to figure out how to do it. And
Okay.
this one is similar, which I may or may not end up going with this class because I prefer more like scout rifle-y kind of stuff. And
There's like a ranged person,
see.
yeah.
Yeah, like I might end up switching to the first one, like sharpshooter
Yeah.
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I might end up switching to that. But like this one is cool because as you do the mind powers, you get more and more like freaked out, and if you go too far, you like
That's cool. Didn't like the
Yeah.
mage have something like that?
it's like the fire girl
Okay.
too, where you have to like drain your heat
Okay,
down.
cool.
So it's sort of the same as that. Yeah, and like the more freaked out you get, you hear like voices and like your
Oh,
screen gets
that's
all crazy. Yeah, it's neat looking, but otherwise, yeah, you just
Yeah.
have a sword and you can like imbue the sword with like powers and like smash people.
That's sick.
Yeah,
You have like a
it's neat.
staff too, I think, right, or
Yeah.
something. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So the character creator.
Yeah.
When you start, there's like a lot of lore options you can choose.
Yes, backgrounds and
I have
stuff.
no idea what any of this is. I think if you're into Warhammer though, you're just gonna fucking love this stuff though.
The Warhammer lore
Is insane.
Like I know
It's
it's
insane.
deep and crazy, but man, it's deep and
It's
crazy.
deep and crazy. Yeah.
But very cool, and like the choices you make, like change your voice and stuff, like based on a different background, which is kind of cool. Like the voice you get is based on a background choice, which I thought was
I
kind of
didn't know that.
interesting.
That is cool.
Yeah, because there were 3 choices, and one of them was like the zealot and the whatever and the whatever, and like the voice was different for each one, and I picked the one I liked the voice of. But it affects the way you speak in cutscenes.
Yeah, your
basically.
character
And
talks.
like one thing that was interesting is when I got to like eye color choices. Some of them were locked off because they were like, your home planet doesn't have these,
That's
these
funny.
eye colors.
I
Like,
didn't know that.
It was like a light brownish gray kind of. They were like, no.
That is cool.
You don't
I
have
didn't
those
know
eye
that.
colors. I was like, okay.
Respect the lore.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really wild. And what I like about it is because I saw in them, I haven't tried it yet, but I saw in the options that you can change your operator, which I assume means you can just change the character class of your pre-made character and you keep the pre-made character.
Oh.
Like
I have no
that's
idea.
my assumption. I haven't
Okay.
tried it yet.
Okay.
But I do appreciate how grody everyone looks.
Yeah, everyone looks like shit. I love it.
Like the only options are hideous.
Yeah,
like
everyone's
on
fucked up.
purpose.
Everyone's
like
fucked up.
everyone is scarred
Yeah.
and just deformed and like hurt and like dirty.
Yeah, it's great.
And the loading screen, which some impressive load times on
Mm-hmm.
this. Good lord. Like it was going forever on Sophia's computer, which is what I was playing on the other day. But like instead of like gameplay tooltips or whatever, it says just like crazy propaganda from the Empire.
Yeah.
So it's just like
The God Emperor.
yeah, it's like to die is to serve and like all this kind of stuff. And some of them were like really creative. I don't remember them verbatim, but
Warhammer,
like
baby.
yeah, I was like, man, Warhammer lore is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It made me want to like read one of these books.
Yeah. It's been a while since I played it, but I do remember the mission I did was pretty cool. Just going through like these like really narrow like sci-fi corridors and shit,
yeah.
like a lot of claustrophobic. Obviously, it's not too narrow because I was a huge big
Yeah,
boy,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
gotta give him room to run around. But lots of turning hallways, and at the end, we had to like escort these things, like take them to a certain spot while people
Okay.
defend you and stuff like that. So the objectives is good and important. I'm looking forward to see what other stuff they introduce in these levels.
Yeah.
Like what crazy shit's gonna go down.
There, judging from Vermintide, like there's always a funny interplay in games like this where it's like, and Left 4 Dead and Back 4 Blood kind of do this too, but like the first time through, you're just like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like, what do I grab and take where? Like, what is this? And then like the third or fourth time you've done it, you're an
You're
old
like, yeah,
hand.
autopilot.
So then like when the new person is on your team and they're like, what are we supposed to do? You're like, don't worry.
Yeah,
I got
it.
you.
Just kill stuff.
Just kill stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of a fun, like, way to learn. I'm looking forward to the character, like, banter.
Oh,
I really
sure.
like that
they
in
got banter.
Vermintide.
Yeah.
I wish I had more to say. Like I said, I've only done the tutorials, but I'm really excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I hope it's well received. And I'm looking forward to playing with like you guys.
We're all
'cause
gonna play day one.
Yeah, I
when
want
it's out
to. I want to. I don't like playing with strangers. So.
Yeah, I get that. Totally. Totally.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Damiani, you gonna check this out? It's
maybe.
I know
So
it's on Game Pass, and I know you don't like PC Game Pass.
I'm gonna need you to back up a little bit here. I
Backing up?
feel like a lot of the games we talk about are self-explanatory, and I do sort
you
of know
want
what
us to
this is.
explain it to you?
But for people who might be familiar with Vermintide,
Sure.
and now
I guess we did,
Darktide,
yeah.
I think they could ascertain it involves weapons and shooting or some kind of like quarter stuff. Like, what type of game is this?
It's like Left 4 Dead. You're
There you
going
go,
through
yeah.
stages. Going through the stage, you're killing it. You got hordes of enemies
There
coming
you
at you.
go,
Got like
okay.
mini bosses
4-player
coming at
co-op.
you.
Yeah.
You usually got to get to the end. There's like light objectives along the way. Like I said, there was like me escorting items like that. I only did one stage when I played it though, so I don't know everything in this. But stuff like that.
So on the experience, obviously, I don't think you said you haven't played enough of Darktide to understand, but like the team synergy,
Yes.
like that's an important aspect. Like, are there like ults or anything? Or,
Yeah, you have like you have like cooldown abilities and stuff like that from what I remember, and you have like an ult usually, and it's like I can't think of like maybe like knock all the guys around you or something like that. But there's also difficulties, Damiani. Like you go on levels.
And you get loot,
you get loot,
new
yeah.
gear.
You get
So
new
that's the
gear for your
progression,
character.
okay.
They have item level and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, and you get higher difficulties. Like in Vermintide, I think like the higher difficulties you'd go on, there's friendly fire.
Yeah.
So you couldn't just swing around or shoot willy nilly. You had to be careful about it.
Now, does each character pretty much like they're set in what they have other than their gear, or they're like different specs you can roll with?
So you have like usually you have like a talent tree.
Okay.
And I believe that's also in this. So you have like a few abilities you could pick. It's not it's not like World of Warcraft talent tree,
Yeah,
but there's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
here's like
There
three
are
things
4
to pick
base
from.
archetypes that
Okay.
you can sort of specialize.
Yes.
Like in Vermintide, you can have like the Healy version of this thing or the combat version of this thing, but it's still the same class.
Gotcha.
Basically.
Yeah. All first person though. Chaos.
Total
Fun
insanity.
time.
Some of the best video game, like first-person melee combat, in my
Yeah,
opinion,
I think so too.
is Vermintide.
I
and
definitely think so.
This, like swinging the shovel that you have in the opening story mission as you're escaping from this prison ship, feels good.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think the other sequel coming out, the next Space Marine, might be more
Yeah.
my wheelhouse because
Sure.
I did play the original. It's a
Oh, okay.
third-person shooter.
Yeah, I didn't play
more
that,
like
actually.
more
It
like
was good,
it's
though.
like Gears.
Yeah, that's
from
what
what
I
I
heard.
understand a little bit. Yeah, so I played that one
Cool.
back in the day and I remember good memories of it. I don't remember too many specific things, but it seemed pretty cool at
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Darktide's cool. Comes out the 30th, I think,
All right.
officially.
Yeah,
So,
I think that sounds right.
I think it's on PC and Xbox only.
if you sign up for the beta, I think you get to play it now.
I think you have to
or
pre-order.
pre-order it. I mean, you get
You
the
have to
beta
play it. Yeah, you can play it
immediately.
now.
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Check on that.
But it's cool. It's a cool game.
yeah.
But Damiani, a game you have a lot of experience with is Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
Oh boy, you got
Is
experience
this like
with
the 4th week in a row?
No, we've never talked about it on this.
Really?
I don't think so. Yeah.
I have maybe the second amount of time in this game
Well,
because I played it
think
all of my break.
I think about 28, 29 hours,
Mm-hmm.
but I was informed that before I was at that number, Brad had checked, and
Jones is
Jones
20
was ahead
yeah.
of me at that point, so Jones
Yeah.
might be
Jones is
number
in the
one.
lead.
Let me paint the picture real quick for
Yeah.
everyone listening and watching right now.
This is a hard one to
I came into work today, go in the stream room. Damiani is just standing there. He goes, "Check this out," and I just look at his screen. It's vampires.
standing?
Yeah,
It was
I didn't even
Vampire
play more.
Survivors. His character was just standing in the middle, not moving, and he just had shit flying all around him. And he was just watching his level go.
Teach me. Teach me,
We
Sensei.
recorded the thing because we're going
Yeah,
to show
Damiani
Huber when he
recorded
gets
it.
here.
Because I was like,
God.
dude, you got to show Huber this. Huber's gonna love this.
The end game builds of that really good. So
Wait,
a
tell
little
me,
bit,
like, what this
Yeah,
game
explain
actually-
I
Vampire
was literally about
Survivor.
to just do that. Like
Okay.
drawing off of like you just talked about with like Darktide and Vermintide.
Yes.
It's hordes of the undead and other similar like vampire
Castlevania.
It's a Castlevania ripoff.
Yeah,
enemies
Castlevania stuff.
that come out that come at you, and you are playing as a protagonist, one of the various amount of selectable characters, each with a starting ability,
Mm-hmm.
and every minute the wave of enemies changes up. They either start coming at you faster or newer, more aggressive or more difficult types of enemies. And your objective is simply to survive 30 minutes. That's how you complete a level. There's more to it than that, but that's like the basic premise. Each enemy potentially can drop behind gems, blue gems, green gems, or red gems, and there's other gems through other means, but those are the three basic ones. Those feed your experience, and as you level up, you'll, like any other popular roguelites of today, you'll be given a tree of options to select from for either upgrading your current ability or selecting a new. You have 6 slots for a weapon offensive attack. You have 6 slots for a passive ability. And so you can pick up to 6, or you can keep upgrading. You'll see below each icon, there'll be a certain amount of slots. It's anywhere from like 6 to 8 slots. Usually you fill in and you rank them up. And each rank gives them like faster cooldown time or more projectiles. So like
That's, you don't physically attack. It's all on a timer. It's like
everything's cooldown.
Inverted bullet hell where you're the hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're sending out bullets on a timer.
Yeah. So all you have to do is just move your character around.
Yeah, you don't
You're
attack.
ducking
You
and
don't
dodging.
do any.
There's-
I played this with one hand
Yeah.
on my
Yeah.
keyboard.
There's some environmental things that can engage with, like there's like torches you can destroy that might give you like gold or give you an orb
Health
that
or
sucks
something.
in, or a piece of chick turkey for health. And sometimes in a level
It's chicken.
Chicken. Okay, it's chicken in this one, not turkey. There's some hidden objectives in each level. You only start with like the first level. After you reach certain milestones, like surviving enough time or a character reaches a certain level, you unlock more characters, you unlock more levels. These levels just, have different layouts and different enemy types. They're also like endless levels as well. Option to do endless. There's special secret shit. There's like a bunch of crazy stuff tucked in this game that you can unlock that is weird, goofy, but cool as shit. And then like you can unlock the ability to get tarot cards to, like for Arcana abilities that like can completely change up like your build as well. And each new character you unlock comes with a new ability that once you meet a certain requirement with them, will be added to the pool of possible upgrades they can get each rank you go up. Now I said there's only 6 slots. Part of the beauty of this game is that sometimes there are items scattered throughout the level. And if you already have 6 slots and one of those isn't a slotted item, you can still pick them up and get beyond 6. So like, you can really go overboard and it's harder to get more than 6 weapons. There's only one way to do that. There's a specialized thing. So it's really hard and rare to do that. But your passives, you can get a lot of passives if you play it smart.
Right.
And this is a game where you feel like each run, I feel like you're seeing improvement. And that's kind of like the addictiveness is that you get to you survive for maybe like 10 minutes your first time. Then you get closer to 20 minutes. And then you'll get over that hurdle eventually where you get to 30 minutes for the first time and you'll see like, ooh, there's something at 30 minutes. Oh, shit. Is that supposed to happen? Can I do anything about that? And then you maybe keep playing more and you're like, oh, there's other levels. The same thing happens, huh? And then like, wait, I can hurt this thing. Maybe I can fight it. It's like, I don't know. And then there's all sorts of like, as I said, secrets. It's like, wait, I just got warped somewhere. Where the hell am I? What is this place? Like,
That's cool.
What do I do here? Is this the same game? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of characters.
Yeah.
The weapons are all cool. Like you can have, none of them are weapons either. Like the laurel is just a shield around you. There's also like a time lance. It doesn't do damage. It just freezes enemies in place. It's like, oh, why would I waste 2 slots on those? Those 2 things, you can evolve your weapon. So each has a rank.
So how do you evolve it?
So there's conditions. To evolve a normal weapon, it needs to hit its max rank, which is 8.
Okay.
And then it has a companion passive ability. And if you just have that passive ability and your weapon at max rank, certain boss-like enemies, they're just bigger enemies, sprites, drop chest. And they can give you, if you meet the conditions, they will give you the evolved version of that weapon.
Okay.
So, for example, there's garlic. Everyone loves to talk about garlic in this game.
Yeah.
And it's an AoE field around you that can get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then if you have the heart, which is a passive that gives you regen, if you have that and you have maxed out garlic, you get like this like soul hacker, soul sucker ability, which is like this giant black force field around you. To
Really,
just
a lot of like build versatility. It seems like on a lot of
It's
different
wild.
builds.
Yeah, you could go for like a turtle build where you just have a bunch of like fields around you where like if you max them out, enemies just can't reach you. You're going to be safe, but also it's hard to see stuff and like you might not have enough offensive power for certain things. Then you can go with an offensive build, but then if you don't have enough defensive, like if you're this whole game is a DPS check. Every minute you basically need to be sure that you have enough offensive capability to deal with the waves of enemies. Because if they're overwhelming you and you're just playing runaway, you're losing at that point. Like waves don't get easier. Some within the first 10 minutes, there's some variance. Like another wave might be a little bit more friendly, where it's more enemies, but they're easier to kill.
Yeah, within the first 5, it feels like sometimes it lulls
Exactly.
to give you breaks. But yeah.
But after 10 minutes, it's like there's kind of a point of no return where if you're not killing thing at every minute, you're falling behind. You're not going to be able to keep up.
What I like about this game too, Damiani, is you can have long-term progression with gold you
that's
get.
exactly
so
right.
I played like 30 minutes of it, and I spent my gold to upgrade my movement speed. I was like, oh, this feels nice.
there are an absurd amount of
There was
collectibles
absurd.
and
Some of them were
unlocks.
very expensive.
There's a lot of
Wild.
the permanent power-ups are pretty much essential. I think that was like the difference when I was playing last week on your file. Then I went back to
Yeah,
mine and
thanks for that.
I double checked my power-ups.
I started last night and I was like, oh, he unlocked some cool shit.
I was
okay.
like, oh, I have like almost every power up on like that's why it's like such a cakewalk. Like I had
Yes.
there's like almost no difficulty of dying under most circumstances. They're very important, but under certain conditions, fulfilling certain level requirements, hitting certain levels with characters, you will either increase the amount of slots you can upgrade on a certain attribute in your power-ups, your permanent power-ups, or unlock brand new ones. For example, you can get the ability to banish, skip, or reroll on a level up. And you can earn more slots of those, more like chances to do them. So like if you don't like the 3 or 4 options that appear, you hit reroll, it'll give you a fresh set. Or if there's something you'd like, I'm never using this for my build. Fucking stop showing up. You can banish it. You'll waste you won't get to pick anything out that level. You have to level up again to make another choice.
I
But
see.
that one will never show up again in the list.
that run.
It's just gone.
Just in that run?
Just in that run.
Okay.
And even something you get, like let's say you need something for a certain condition, but you don't want to risk leveling up, you can then banish it and it's locked at level 1 and it'll never go. Like there's some detrimental things you can get that might be necessary for other situations, but man, I don't want to power it up because it's going to make things too ridiculous. So just banish it. Like, so I can't power it up. And then obviously you can skip, like maybe, like say you don't have like any more banishes, like you just choose to skip. But like once you run out of skips and banishes, you have to pick something. So sometimes it could be negative when you level up and like you don't have those at high level play. So you got to be
Right,
like a
'cause
little
you
bit
don't
more
wanna take
strategic. But it's
something.
I love this. Like everything is viable.
Do you like Vampire Survivors?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well, okay,
consuming.
okay.
Everything is viable. I don't care what anyone says. Any kind of weapon is viable if you know what to do,
That's cool.
how to build with it correctly.
That was the thing that impressed me most about this game is like how meticulously balanced it was. Like it's so deceptively complicated. Like at first blush, the game seems so simple and so straightforward, and you get in and like after your first minute, you're like, okay, I get it, and then you just keep discovering more and more and more and more depth, and it like doesn't stop doing that.
Right.
It's
At least
really,
it hasn't for me yet, and I've played it for
yeah.
like hours and hours and hours.
It's really good with that. The amount of secret condition things too is great because some levels, like the first 3 levels, I think are pretty much like just giant rectangles. You can go infinitely out in any direction, but then you'll get to the next 2 levels. They're vertical levels. You really can't go horizontally forever, especially one of them. It's just really, it's like a tower theme. So like you're confined. You got to go north and south, but like. Maybe one of them, if you go certain conditions and you go a certain direction with certain things, something interesting might happen. It's like, whoa, what the shit is this? Like, I love the amount of secrets they hide. And in some of this, there's like a boss rush mode. Like, which if you think you're good at the game, you can do boss rush
You think
mode.
you're good?
You think you're good?
Instead of like every minute, there's different like amount of enemies, different types of bosses.
Oh,
and
boy.
all the bosses seem pretty like whatever. They just like look like a cool, unique version of an enemy sprite.
Yeah.
But there are a certain enemy in this game, and there are variations of their bosses.
Okay.
They each have unique gimmicks to them. They do mechanics.
Oh.
You encounter one of them in one of the later levels early on. It changes the dynamic of the level. So you think you can go left, right, up, and down all you want. They might do something which is like, you're kind of forced to do something. You can no longer go a certain way possibly. And like, oh, I can't go back and get that stuff? Yikes. So imagine like that on top of multiple of those with weird gimmicks like that and fighting them all at once in a small... the boss arena is a square. You cannot leave it.
Out, yeah.
And having to deal with all that in a small space.
That's fun.
I love it when Damiani, when you are really excited about a thing, but also trying to talk about it without spoiling or being overly specific. It's very fun.
Yes, very good. G the Finger
Because
wrote
you
in.
basically give it away without, like, you almost get there.
I mean, you
love
probably can surmise, but mechanic-wise, you don't know what you're dealing with.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
I think to me, that's the real... It's like, I don't give a shit what the enemy is. It's not big of a fucking
yeah.
surprise. It'd be like saying Ganon's not in a Zelda fucking game.
Yeah.
Right.
But like...
I'm just going to assume it's Dracula.
What they do is amazing. It's like, oh God, what the fuck am I dealing with here? This game has shown me nothing like this before. I am fucked.
Well, even like early level stuff, like the flower circles and stuff, where where you get boxed in for a little while, like that stuff is cool. They mix it up.
Quick, speaking of flowers, there's a goat thing named O'Toole something. I forget its full name. It just farts out flowers. That's its basic attack.
Okay.
So when you run,
play
it
as?
shoots out backwards. It's like that's its attack. Pretty good.
Haven't seen that one yet.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty weird.
G the Finger wrote in. A game hasn't hit me like Vampire Survivor since the original Destiny. In less than a week, I've neglected my 1-year-old and instead got every achievement. While the minute-to-minute decision-making, gameplay loop, and simple-to-grasp premise have all received due praise, more games could learn from the progression of Vampire Survivors. You're constantly and effortlessly, can't speak, unlocking new weapons, characters, mechanics, stages, modes, and power-ups, each building on the last to greatly expand the scope of the game while never being overwhelming. Even with a full collection and bestiary, there's more secrets to find, characters to discover, and weapons evolutions to unearth. If more games felt like this rewarding, I'd drop less of them after a few hours.
Yeah.
I guess with the nature of this kind of game, you need something like that. Because, you literally just move in this game, and that's about it. But
I feel like what I like about this game, though, is so many games try to do this,
Yeah.
and few of them achieve it with such satisfaction.
Yeah, definitely. Vampire Survivors
And this
nailed it.
it's not monetized. Like, it's not some kind of gotcha
Yeah,
where
this
it's like,
game's $5, I think.
it's like 4 maybe. It's like,
Yeah.
and you just get everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, such a short time of runs, I think, helps it.
Sure.
Well, there's some like even I don't think Hades is that terribly long once you know once you know what to do. But like in your first few playthroughs, but I'm not saying Hades is tedious. It's a great game,
Right.
but it is technically more tedious than this game, and that low barrier where it's like so effortless. I just
It
spent
is.
5 minutes. I made progress.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
already
effortless.
better. Like it's that immediate gratification that I think a lot of roguelites make you have like. They delay that a little bit. They make it a little bit harder up front and like ask a little bit more of you before you start to have that like click moment. Like, okay, this is doable. I
Yeah.
can do this. This game, it overwhelms you at first pretty quickly, but then you're like, your second run, when you see your like improvements, like, oh my God, this is so gonna be doable. And like, it just hooks you that fast. I
Yeah,
think
it does.
that speed, that quickness, that is like its secret sauce.
Progression-wise, it reminds me of Rogue Legacy 2, because I think some of the
yes.
unlocks are pretty similar. But like, this feels so much more immediately accessible.
It has,
Even though Rogue Legacy is very accessible.
there's no level structure progression.
Yeah.
I mean, you can unlock new maps, but that's not the objective in the level. The level
Right.
to say, let's get to the next area.
Right,
There's a boss
right.
here. It's so simple natured, and I think
That's the
sometimes
strength of it,
simple
for sure.
is better. But
Sometimes, yeah.
doing all the things it does was necessary.
Yeah,
I think,
to keep you
because
going, yeah,
just
absolutely.
simple isn't going to be
Yeah,
enough.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The amount of depth it has, I think that is, you said, they're not charging you extra for any of this. Like, oh, get a character pack for like $2 or something. Like, no, all like whatever 30 characters for. I don't know how many they have. It's a lot. they're all like free.
Yeah, it's a really easy game to recommend.
Yeah.
It's like you don't got much
Also,
to
it's
lose.
cheap, the game.
Yeah, it's like $5,
Yeah.
$4, whatever. It's on Game Pass too, I think.
Really?
Do you have that? Yeah, I think so.
Also, except for one song, I think most of the music I heard is like they're all bangers. Like there's really good
Pretty good
music in this
songs,
game
yeah.
too. There's like multiple versions of each song. Like just again, like the weapon variety helps so much.
Yeah.
That each character has a unique starting weapon. And like every character has a unique starting weapon. Whether it's some kind of cheat and have like start with the evolved forms of weapons, but I mean,
But they all feel different at least.
there's like literally like a witch that has cats come attack.
Yeah.
for you.
That's
It's
fun.
like,
Which
cool.
at first feels really weird and bad, but then later it gets kind of cool. So.
Yeah, I will say there's a personal problem. I do wish they had an option to turn off the cat fight noise. Because it happens so much, I hear it. It instinctively makes me think of I have to I'm like, no, stop. But like, it also, when you get high level with it, it happens so often. It kind of sounds a little disturbing. I'm like, can I just turn that off? Because there's only music and sound effects. You can't just do that.
Right.
So if you do watch this podcast, creators of this game, or maybe it's a single creator, I don't know.
I think it might just be one person. I don't know.
Could you maybe add that option, like animal
cat.
sounds, just mute cat or something? Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool. Yeah, I think this game's awesome. I really like it. I need to play more of it, though.
I feel like I'm forgetting something. I will say, I was telling Brad, though. So I did compare this game to my feelings about FTL, which is a game I can play for almost forever.
I've witnessed
I
this.
do feel like because this question is about, they said they complete all the achievements. I'm very near finishing the last few. I just have to get a few more characters to a certain level, and then I'm done. I locked the last character.
Jeez.
I think it's the last character. I feel like once I finish those, I think I'm done with this game, though.
Sure.
Because I feel like I'm like seeing and doing everything.
I won't be surprised if it has some crazy secret last
It
unlock
probably
that
does.
makes it
It's like
last
there's
forever.
one last hurrah.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
You go to the moon or something.
I think because it's more drawn out, it takes like maybe an hour to two for each playthrough of FTL, and there's a little bit more variance in like your objectives and the RNG thrown at you. It keeps it feeling a little bit more unique each playthrough.
Sure.
Whereas at this point, I know what I'm getting. Like there will be no surprise. I mean, that's kind of true of FTL, but I think FTL meets it out a little bit at a slower pace, but it's still a good pace. And like just like having to read the text about the situation you're in, like that's why I think something like FTL for me personally has more longevity than something like Vampire Stories. But dude, just even saying I played like nearly 30 hours in this game is like, you for what it is, like that's amazing.
Yeah.
That you even got, I'll probably another 5 hours.
Big
in
value.
At least. It's like 30, 35 hours. It's like shit, man. That's like longer than most games take to,
Yeah, for a
complete.
fraction of the price.
Yeah. Like kudos.
Yeah, kudos. It's time for Sort It Out. Oh, this segment we kind of just for anyone who doesn't know, just something that's annoying you in the game industry. It could be a game, company, whatever. Obviously, mine this time is Pokemon.
I was just gonna say, put your games out that work.
Yeah. Pretty obvious one.
Yeah, like, just give this game more time. You got to let these games cook. Came out not cooked. You're going to eat that, you're going to get sick. Got to wait to fully cook that Pokemon. Fully cook that Pikachu before you eat it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a good one. That was what I was thinking too. But
You
it's
can do the same one.
No, I'll change it.
Okay.
Illogical character deaths in narrative supermassive style games.
Oh,
That dog, I mean, without spoiling it, it was an illogical choice, and then a more illogical choice that would have also made noise and gotten us killed.
Dude.
By not doing it, we got killed.
They crank those games out too.
They do.
They've had 2 this year.
This one had some really funny bugs too that were really, really good. Like I really
cranking
enjoyed
those.
it.
Yep.
But like, oh man,
Oh, man.
that one it was a bummer.
Anything for you, Damiani?
I said my piece on
Pokemon?
I feel like.
We talked about it for a straight hour.
We did.
Yeah. I feel like
It deserved it.
I spent all that.
Yeah, that's fair. Janet Briggs wrote and said, "Hey, allies, for Sorted Out, I feel like so many games these days try so hard to have a yearly release only to put out rushed and buggy games. The most recent example being Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This one feels especially strange since we already got Arceus earlier this year. Is it Arceus
Arceus.
or Arceus? I've heard both.
Pokemon Arceus.
Arceus, okay.
In English.
Arceus earlier this year. We could have easily waited an extra year for this game. Scarlet and Violet are absolutely riddled with bugs, and I can't even begin to imagine how exhausted developers are. Sort it out. Got a lot of people talking about Pokemon.
I was gonna say, hey,
It's yeah.
get it out, sort it out.
Cathal Fallon, also Pokemon. Sort it out. Pokemon Company need to give extra time and resources to their games because the problems with Scarlet and Violet are nuts, even for a Switch game. Mm-hmm. They're going to have Keep It Up, which is the exact opposite of Sort It Out.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw it in here because they bundled them together. Keep It Up. I'm curious about this, Damiani. Keep It Up. Sparks of Hope looking so good and running so well on the Switch. The Shadow Drop engine is really versatile.
I think it runs pretty well.
Okay.
I mean, it has some issues, but considering, like, I mean, the environments are not bigger than a Pokemon Zone, but they are pretty big environments. They're not corridors anymore. I mean, and I think visually they look better than Pokemon.
Yeah, of course.
Far.
Yeah,
of course.
So, like, yeah, they're trying at least. You know, I think that's more of them, like, they know coding
Well,
and they're
also,
trying
like,
to push the Switch hardware.
They know
Mario is
coding.
in it. Nintendo's not going to let
yeah,
a
you don't
Mario
fuck
game
with-
come out
You don't fuck with the big
that
Mario.
runs like Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
They never would.
Yeah, they would execute.
They,
Ubisoft.
they would take you out back
They would never
and throw you off the cliff. Yeah.
Throw Eves off the cliff, dude.
Yeah. Tie you to the railroad tracks.
Riggs Ray wrote in also. It said, sort it out. This one is hyper specific. You might like this one, Isla. So Sayonara Wild Hearts has the album available on streaming
yeah.
services and was available on vinyl, but it's arranged as all the tracks with lyrics in a row and then all the instruments right in a row. Instead of being ordered how they were designed as an album.
That's very weird.
So I have two sides of vinyl that don't flow very well and two sides of vinyl that are frankly never spin. Annapurna Interactive, sort it out.
That's very weird. Because the whole point of that game was like, hey, this is an interactive album.
Yes.
And the game was built to flow.
yes.
Why would you not release it that way?
Is this a Bloodworth argument over like in-game music versus the soundtrack version where
well,
the soundtrack's
it's
messing
hard
it up?
to do a soundtrack for a game, as Blood has repeatedly said, and I totally agree, like, where interaction changes the music, right? Like, you could have a song in Tetris Effect that lasts 16 minutes if that's how long it takes you to do that, you know. And like, movies do this too, where, like, they'll sometimes take kind of the best
part.
hits of that song and, like, they cut out the, like, 4 minutes of silence that are technically part of the track because it's just, like, not silence, but like little violins or something for like a while because stuff's happening in the movie.
Yeah.
But you're not going to sit there and listen to that. You know, not every soundtrack does that. But like you'll run into this when you try to do "Go the Distance" from Hercules in karaoke sometimes because some versions don't cut out the like 2-minute long instrumental shit in the middle. So you sing for 40 seconds and then you all sit there.
Wait,
While he's running around
from the movie? Like the Disney
from the
movie?
cartoon. Yeah.
Oh.
Because in the movie, he's running around in training or whatever during
Oh,
that
right.
song. So some karaoke versions cut that out and some don't.
Got it. Which
And
one do you
so,
like?
I mean, I prefer to just sing, you know.
You want to watch Herc
So you gotta get the
train?
sing-
Well, you're not
version.
watching anything. You're all just sitting
Sitting
there in
there.
your
Just imagine it
karaoke
in your
room.
head.
Like, yeah, you're like, okay, so
Don't
he's like
worry.
going up the cliff and he's lifting the log and, punching vases or whatever the hell he does. But yeah, it's a tricky conundrum, but it's so weird that they would do it like that. Mm-hmm. Like, that's really weird.
Dawn. Calling Dawn.
Yes.
Do you have any sorted outs this episode? Anything bugging you?
Yeah, I have it sorted out.
Yeah.
I'm going to sort it out unless you cut
Look.
yourself.
This is something they were trying to sort out years back. It's still a problem.
Okay.
Physical media.
Oh,
It's not getting respect.
it's not.
You
Sure.
see this new Call of Duty, Brad?
What about it?
Physical disc, you got to download, I think, 40
Oh, yeah,
GBs
yeah,
of
yeah.
data.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
unacceptable. They got to put something in these cases for you, a card or some kind of thing.
They
anything.
took out the manuals, man.
Yeah, and
Wait,
it's
so you
still a
buy the
problem.
physical disc, but
It's
you
a
still just
empty
download it?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
just a
a lot of
disc.
games do that now. But
I
Call of
remember
Duty, yes.
MGS5 did that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
a lot of games are doing that now.
I wish they would sort this out. I don't see how they can't. They're
I would.
still charging the same price, right?
Dawn, unfortunately,
We're not going back. huh?
physical games are dying, unfortunately. I really like physical games, but they're just kind of dying.
We gotta
sadly.
bring somehow. We got to bring physical.
Somehow you
games
got to bring it back.
Yeah, we're gonna need them.
Yeah.
Download the game and burn it to a DVD.
How ominous.
Yeah. Gonna need him.
We're gonna need them
After the war.
sooner than you think.
Nice one, Don.
That is a nice one.
All right, now it's time for Keep It Up. The exact opposite. What's something you're enjoying in gaming?
Oh, damn.
I don't enjoy anything in gaming, so I got
That's
Yeah.
we don't
Famously, I'm a
we don't enjoy
curmudgeon, so...
games.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
We hate them.
I think music right now in games has been really good, kind of bouncing off that last one, where it's like, even games I don't like as much, the music is just like really hitting
Sure,
nowadays.
Have you heard the Tunic soundtrack? Or music?
I don't think so.
I wonder
I
if
haven't
you'd
played
like that.
Tunic yet. Yeah. But like God of War, like I kind of bounced off it,
Bear
frankly, which
McQuarrie.
is really weird, but the music obviously was just like
Good music
crushing
for
it.
sure.
Oh yeah.
Anything, Damiani?
Good music. I feel like I'm gonna need to do a over holiday break music fest stream.
We have a music question later down
But,
there, so I want your opinion on it.
Keep it up for 'cause it's also a week of Thanksgiving. For looking back, being thankful stuff in this year's indie game selection.
Very good.
Like
Very good.
holy crap.
Yeah.
There
Very good.
are a lot of good indie games that came out this year.
Absolutely.
Like Vampire Survivors kind of being like the latest, like,
Seafood,
Yeah.
Rogue Legacy 2, lots of great stuff.
dude, yeah, so many games. We might have a difference of opinions over what's indie, but even with games we might rule out as indie, there's still so many. Like, that definition might save us in the end because there's just too many
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
indie games.
We should just make a new term
Yeah.
and just like pioneer it.
Games are developed with under this amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever Bloodworth says.
Yeah, Bloodworth.
yeah.
Bloodworth says you're an
approved.
indie. Best game Bloodworth classifies as an indie.
Yeah. Small vibes.
There you go.
Keep it up on all the companies doing sales on Black Friday. I
Hell
love
yeah.
that shit.
damn
You can
it.
pick up so many good games
God
For
damn
cheap.
it, says Doug.
for like half off.
Yeah. Nintendo's one's amazing because every game on like the eShop's like on sale from like third parties, so there's actually some good deals in there. Two ones that stick out. First party Nintendo, god damn it, of course, they like never go down in price enough.
Right.
Like in this year I think the
like
cut's
$10?
even less. It's like
$5?
They're like they're like $41.99. They won't even go to like
Kirby?
$39.99. No, Kirby did not go on sale. It's too soon. But like a few did, other vendors did. Like I saw Link's Awakening 2019 go to $29.99, I think.
Wow.
For physical and digital.
I
digital,
scooped up Breath of the Wild
Wow.
for $39.99.
Yeah,
the other day.
some of them were $39.99.
She gave yours away.
Yeah, twice. I don't know what happened to the second one.
There are like some other vendors
It's somewhere,
have
but I
picked
had
it
to
up.
buy another one for Sophia.
But like also like Capcom, like all the old REs are still $10. It's like that's on sale. It's like RE, like Resident Evil Remake, RE0, RE2, like all the like not two, but
Well, they're
like,
usually like what, 20?
yeah, and it's like
$10 is a steal for that kind of quality.
Yeah, dude, what are you talking about?
But what,
Those are some of the greatest games of all time.
Weren't they like $4.99 on PlayStation?
That's
know.
Like
PlayStation.
PS1
It was different.
classics.
That was
Or
different.
$7.99.
Dude.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, back then on PS3?
That was the golden ages,
Bro,
baby.
we got fucking inflation, Damiani.
Yeah. In
don't
PS3
know.
money, these are basically
But then
free.
there's some
Yeah.
good ones like okay, there's one I'm gonna say.
Okay.
It's on sale right now, but it's still not at the must-buy price for me. It's a game collection I really want,
Oh.
but I still think, and I know a lot of work went into it, but I still in my mind don't want to like.
Okay.
And that is the Cowabunga collection.
Oh.
I was not happy at its $40 price tag.
Why not?
I think it's too much for those games.
Okay.
Like, I
Dodd creeps toward the microphone.
now it's on sale right now for $27.99.
Okay.
Now that was close.
Not enough?
But like my magic mark is $24.99 or less.
Oh my god.
So
You know
I will wait longer.
You know what's funny, Damiani, is I've seen like, Wario64 posts, and he posts a sale, and people are in the comments just saying like, hold, or something like that.
Well, this is the first wave. Like maybe closer this weekend
Yeah.
they'll take an
Yeah.
even.
Maybe when
well, the
Don't
Each
forget
Black Friday?
Cyber Monday.
Yeah, the eShop ones won't change on Nintendo.
No.
Those are locked because
You
they
get
say
what
they
you get.
That's what you're not going to find cheaper unless another site sells a code for cheaper, like a digital only or physical version. That's the thing. I don't want physical copies.
Yeah, you want digital.
Persona 5 Royale, $29.99 like physical copy. Even
Yeah.
like the launch day steelbook version. I want that digital, but
Yeah.
digital right now it's like $44.99 on sale, and I'm like,
Dude, that game's $60 bucks.
I know. I was
buy it
like,
normal.
I'm not. No, I will wait this out. 1
Okay.
year it will be cheap enough, but then I probably won't be.
I don't know. It's Atlas. You never
Yeah.
know.
I was like,
Did you never play it?
No, he did.
I played the OG.
Yeah, he played the OG.
Yeah.
He did. He put in his
But I
time.
was like, oh man, like $29.99. If I went down to that digitally, I might
Hold.
just pull the trigger.
Hold. Maybe you can get it on Steam or
Pull the
something cheap.
trigger.
Don, what were you going to say about Ninja Turtles?
That was when I got a physical.
Cut to yourself.
I got the physical copy of that, Damiani, and there was nothing inside, not a single thing. If anything,
Really?
yeah, out of all games, you
On
think
what
right?
system?
Switch.
Oh no.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Wait, on
now.
Switch?
Yeah.
Oh
That's
no.
crazy. What if you don't have internet?
That's what I'm saying. Who would?
Cut to yourself.
Yeah, my point is done.
Do you ever keep it up?
Yeah, do you have a keep it up? That
No.
was the next part.
Sorry, it's your show.
What, you don't have anything to keep up?
Nope. Actually, I was gonna say the exact same thing as you, Brad. Specifically the
Oh.
Nintendo Black Friday sale.
Sure.
Every time around this time of year, there's about 20 or 30 games I'll end up buying on this Nintendo sale.
20?
And I'll be
30?
lucky if I get to 5 of them by the next Thanksgiving. I
Yeah.
love that.
Okay.
I might bite on some games, but you know what I did get? The headphones I use, the Sennheiser 599 HD, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
They're like half off right now.
Oh, nice.
And like mine are 4 years old, and
Okay.
like they're still in good condition, but like there's some wear and tear on some parts. So I'm like, these are usually 150, 60 bucks, half off. I should. And
Jump on
Sennheiser, I was like,
You can
Sure.
get some good headphone deals.
Yeah.
Black Friday.
Hell yeah.
I like this one. I was like, I love these headphones. They might not be the best, but they've been the most comfortable, and I love them. So I'm like,
Sennheiser's
I want
a
an
good
extra
brand.
I want an extra pair just whenever these other ones die, just in case they stop making this someday. So
Yeah,
I got at least
you
another
got-
4 or 5 years in the bank.
Yeah,
right
you got
there.
peace of mind now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can't put a price on that.
Same with my Logitech mouse because I know they went to the new model for the one we have here. I got the same
The
one.
502?
Yeah, they went to
I
the
love the
503,
502.
Whatever. It's apparently still just as good, but like I have an extra one in a box just waiting for when that
502
one.
fits perfectly.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice. Let's see here. Riggs Ray wrote in, keep it up. Keep it up! The newly released Tactics Ogre Reborn has a largely re-recorded soundtrack. The arrangements always sound great, but many of these tracks now feature live instruments, and if there are MIDI still, they're of a quality that doesn't immediately stick out. Ogre Battle's Revolt has never sounded better, and Fortune Teller 2 reveals itself to be a true stunner of a song. Here's to hoping there is more where this comes from on the classic titles front. Square Enix, keep it up.
Dude,
Yeah, we're going to talk about Tactics Ogre.
I have a question.
Yes.
I've wondered this my entire life.
Okay.
Why is it called Tactics Ogre?
The name Ogre? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
Tactics Ogre is
thinking
very
about it. I'm like, there
confusing
aren't
to
like
me.
ogres.
Tactics Ogre is very... Well, there's like monsters and shit.
Well, right, but like,
I don't know.
yeah.
I mean,
it's Jack.
Tactics Ogre is a confusing series for me because like the order the games come out, it's like part 7. You're like, what?
Yeah.
I
It's
think
like Star
Tactics
Wars.
Ogre is
I don't
like
know
that.
too much about it.
But it doesn't matter. to me.
Boy,
Like,
it was.
I'm-
I don't even know if that's its name in Japanese. Actually,
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know what its Japanese name is. I have no idea.
Tactics Piglet.
Tactics Piglet, that's right. This is from Andrades Cleanthos. I don't know how you say that.
Andreas Clenthus.
Keep it up.
I don't know.
With Bloober Team being announced as a developer for Silent Hill 2 Remake, I went back and replayed the medium. There's a trophy video that shows that you can get the platinum in one playthrough in less than 5 minutes. Wow, what the fuck?
What?
Now, I don't like the ending. The journey wasn't bad, and actually there's some secrets and moments that if they were put into portfolio, I could see why Konami would choose them as a developer. I also really like Blair Witch and how it messes with time. So keep it up, Bloober Team, because I have hope that Silent Hill 2 Remake will be good as long as they don't try to stray too far from the original and make the character movement more smoothly. Yeah, I guess it's a nice thing to hear about this remake, 'cause most people are like, fuck.
I am cautiously optimistic.
Sure, I think that's totally
On
fair.
Silent Hill 2 Remake.
I think that's fair.
Like, to me, it's like, even if they totally swing and a miss, like, the Enhanced Edition is so good.
Yeah, but you
And
can't
I
play it
love-
easily.
No, but I love grassroots kind of, like, internet efforts like that. It warms my heart, you know?
I
Like
think
fan
people would be
efforts,
way
I
more
really like.
cool with it if they could just play the original pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
can't-
You can't.
Hopefully they
really.
do. They got like Metal Gears. You can't really do that either.
It'd be cool if they put in a mode where it's like
The
the
original.
or at least like a fixed camera mode.
Yeah, I'd always
Um,
love if games included, if they do remake the original with it. Like
Yeah.
if RE2 Remake had the original with it, I'd be like,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, even
Gotta
if they
make you
don't
pay
touch
more.
the original.
I mean, I can't even buy those.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're even worse. They're vaulting it.
And that's so annoying, dude.
James just looks weird. His face looks weird.
You look too weird.
I mean, he's a weird looking guy, but in this, he just looks different. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'll probably get used
I saw
to
some
it.
stuff. Like, I don't really know a lot about Sun 2. I've played it, but I don't. It's been a long time. But like, people are like, his face has too much expression. and
Yeah, his face
shit.
it just looks weird. I don't
I
know.
was like, all right,
Hashtag not my James.
now you're James. I want shitty PS2 James.
Yeah.
All right, now we got some shout outs from some of our most generous patrons out there.
So
we give them a shout out
generous.
every episode. We got Jabbawabs, Elthanas, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, and Anacrothe. Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Give me Dawn. Dawn.
Yes.
Give me a physical media shout out. Interpret that as you will.
Physical media shout out. Shout out.
Beautiful. Excellent. You see that?
I
Shout out?
thought he was going to remain silent because physical
It's
games
dying.
don't come with
'Cause it's
the
dying.
We could do
I
like a
did have
dying
a brief
breath.
moment of silence. You did notice that brief moment. of
the
silence.
physical games don't even
I
come with a
did
physical
notice.
thing anymore. So
Dawn?
I was like, there you go.
That shout out comes with a manual.
Little tiny memorial.
Oh. And a map, a fold out map.
Yeah, fold out
Poster.
map. Well, let's
Fold,
not
nice
get crazy.
folded poster. I love that.
Cloth.
Let's not get crazy. Don didn't go that hard.
He didn't go that hard. You're right. It wasn't a cloth map.
Yeah. All right, next game. Tactics Ogre Reborn.
Woo!
Yo.
I've been waiting for this. Well, since they announced, I've been very excited. This has been one of my most anticipated games for the year. Once they announced that, I was like, "Fuck yes, dude!" Tactics Ogre is if you didn't know, it is a strategy series. We didn't get a lot of them here in the States, or we didn't get all of them in the States. Originated. So this game was on Super Nintendo originally, I believe. Then they remade it for PSP, which was Tactics Ogre. Let us cling together.
Yeah.
Then now we're getting Tactics Ogre Reborn.
Which still says "Let us cling together" in the intro.
Yeah, I think so.
text.
Yes. If you just want a quick visual in your mind, this is Final Fantasy Tactics before Final Fantasy Tactics. This is the same
I
people.
forgot it was before.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's the same team.
I don't know
Or
if it's
similar team?
I think it's the same like head dude.
Okay,
I
yeah.
believe. I'm
I mean,
not exactly
it feels
sure.
very
Yes,
Final
it is
Fantasy
very.
Tactics.
It is very.
I forgot
it
how
is.
crunchy it is too. My God.
Oh, it's crunchy, baby.
Ugh.
So I've played about 12 hours of this, maybe a little more.
I've played about 1.5. I just started
Okay.
it.
So
Maybe
why don't you
one.
just talk to me about what you've experienced so far with this?
Mostly just the opening story stuff, the tutorial battles.
The brother and sister.
They're talking, talking about, hey, make sure you buy stuff before you go to the next battle, like the
Yes.
map system. It's again early days, like my Darktide.
Yeah.
But I did play this as a kid,
Just scratching it.
and it's one of those things where it's like, if you asked me to describe Tactics Ogre.
Mm-hmm.
And like tell you what was going to happen or what the story was about before I started playing this, I wouldn't have been able to do it at all.
Sure.
But like everything that I see, I remember it as
Yeah.
I'm seeing it. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Yes.
It's such a weird experience.
Yeah.
It's like a moment by moment deja vu kind of. but-
Yeah, a grid-based tactics game.
Yeah.
So Tactics Ogre has a very serious story. Stuff is like fucking heavy. There's like some choices you make in this game. You make choices in this game, you get different routes depending on what you say and what you do. Some of them are pretty gnarly, what you're asked to do. You're like, whoa. There's consequences what you make too, so it's really good stuff. I played Triangle Strategy earlier this year, which is kind of similar to this game, I guess, since I talked about it earlier. I would say this is like Triangle Strategy, but more complex, I guess. Triangle Strategy is like, you got your party member, this is their class. That's what they're doing. You can upgrade that class, but that's it, kind of thing. Tactics Ogre is like, nah, dude. You can make whatever the hell you want to make. You want to make your character a ninja? You could totally make them a ninja once you unlock it.
Yeah.
You can also build that ninja to a different way if you want to specialize in other things. There's a lot of freedom, lots of cool stuff to do. But this is a remake/remaster of the PSP version, so there's some changes this time around. So I'd be forgetting some of them. I haven't played it since PSP.
Yeah.
But some of the new changes are there's level caps now when you're going through an area.
Party level.
Party level. So you get capped at a certain level. But the trade-off is now you don't have to level up your jobs individually now. So if you got your character, let's say, the main character's name's Denim. So you get Denim to level 10. He's a warrior. You unlock a new job. You want to switch Denim to that job. That job will be level 10. You're fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to rank that job
Which is
up.
very nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can freely like mess around. You get a new job, you can kind of mess around pretty easily.
It's good.
There's
Does it burn the job gem or whatever when you
Yeah, but you can
apply
buy
it?
them.
Oh, you can just buy it.
like sometimes you could find some earlier. Like I
Yeah.
found a ninja one earlier off a ninja I killed. I took his thing. But you can buy it later on in a later chapter. But if you
sick.
if you like find it, you can get it a little earlier. But like I can't buy a katana yet for them.
Right,
I
right.
found one, but I can't dual wield them yet. I can't buy it. So there's some advantages and disadvantages like that. But also there's like I said, if you play Final Fantasy Tactics, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. You have a world map kind of thing where your character moves on it.
Yeah.
There's no more random encounters,
Nice.
so you can move freely if you want. But you can now train at places. So if you want to
And if
level
you
up,
die in training, it doesn't count.
Correct.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
yeah, if you have a unit that
Nice.
dies, they go down and they have like a turn meter. So you have like 3 turns or whatever to resurrect them. And if you don't, they're dead, gone. I lost like 2 guys.
That's
I was like, ooh, it's kind of cool, high stakes. But you can just recruit people if you want at the shop. You go to the shop, you can buy, you can recruit them, you got gold.
so you don't have. It's less of a danger of like losing out if you let enough people die. You're not going to be like. You have a chance to replenish.
Yes.
Like, you're not going to be
You can recruit
short-handed.
more,
Because
yeah.
that's a shortcoming of older Fire Emblem
Yes.
games is that you could run into an issue. You let too many people perma-die, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah.
You cannot progress any further because you will not be. You can't just freely.
I guess you could run
recruit.
out of money.
Yeah, but you can. I think it's pretty chill though. Like it seems pretty mellow.
I really like games that like it's now adds the tension where you have X amount of turns to revive a character.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do it in this. And if it like because this reminds me of probably influenced by this game, Valkyria Chronicles, where person goes down, you have a certain amount of turns to get to them, the medic to get them off the battlefield, and then they can come back after a certain amount of turns. But if an enemy unit reaches them first, they're out. They're permanent dead. I don't know if that's
I don't think it's that. So I think how it works here is that when they're down, they have like 3 amount cycle turns to resurrect them, and if you don't, they're dead. But you can go there, use a stone, and bring them back up.
okay.
But
You have to just get next to them, right?
yeah, you should use an item. I'm sure there's like spells and stuff maybe
Yeah,
later
within
on. I don't
range
have
later,
anything quite
yeah.
like that yet, but maybe that'll help later on. Like this game's pretty long as far as I remember.
imagine it's
pretty
probably
meaty. Like I'm 12 hours in, I'm on chapter 2.
Okay.
I don't know how many
That's
chapters
A little
there
longer
are.
than I thought.
And it's just like such meaty political drama.
Yeah, I
too.
love it.
It's
Always
wild.
Love it.
Always
Yeah.
that. Does it do anything like the tactics games, like in terms of conditions for each battle? Like, do they do? I imagine
Yeah.
they don't do anything like the law thing, but like,
Yeah.
do they do like?
There's like stuff, there's maybe a person on the field that you don't want to let die or something like that, like a character. Or there's like, here's this area, here's all these guys, but if you take out the leader, the battle's over,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like
Stuff like
And
that.
sometimes that's really important.
There's like weather too, right? Or am I?
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of like magic things, and if the
Misremember,
amount of magic
yeah.
you use can kind of alter some kind of
No
things.
restrictions, like they don't impose like as far as you've seen like job restrictions.
No.
Like you're not allowed
No,
to
no.
like challenge. You
No,
can't.
you can use
this
whatever
job.
you want.
Okay.
Usually, like, you can have a certain amount of units on the field. That's about it.
Okay.
But you're free to kind of just do whatever you want and go about things how you want to. But also, like, there's I think there's one of the new changes is there's a skill you can equip. So your characters have weapons and equipment, of course, you get like that. But depending on like some of the equipment, the stats on them can reduce your speed on your turn.
Oh,
So it'd be
okay.
like you won't come up as fast like that, but you'll gain maybe more damage. So it's not maybe always necessarily the best to just buy the newest gear. You want to like really check and look at those
All
stats,
right. Yeah.
kind of stuff like that. But characters also have 4 slots for like passives you can do. So like if your character uses a longsword, you can get something like a stat where you can level up your longsword. So they'll just do more damage.
Okay. Are there any latent passive type skills that you get from other jobs? Like, is
Yes.
there benefit to ranking up a job? And
Some skills like so one of the jobs I unlocked recently is a Terror Knight, which is I guess like a Dark Knight essentially. They have this like he has a passive or there's a chance to proc fear on surrounding enemies, and I think when they're feared, they take more damage
Okay, cool.
and they deal less damage, I believe, but it's a proc. So
And your base level guy can do, I think it's called meditate, but it's like sometimes you'll find an item or whatever, just like on the
Yeah,
ground.
sometimes like meditate. Like sometimes one of your casters will just get some mana back on their turn.
Yeah.
Some more mana. Like because you start with no mana with your casters, and they gain mana each turn.
Are there any kind of like not really party, but like unit dynamics where you're next to like an ally? This might be too early.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's stuff like that.
where you get like you can enhance something. Like,
Yeah, like one of the
okay.
things I believe they added is like an ability. So if you're behind the enemy, you put this unit with this ability. It's like I forgot what it's called, like a back attack kind of thing. Whatever. They get behind the enemy, and if one of your units attacks that enemy, your guy that's behind them will hit them.
Oh, okay. There's also
Stuff like that.
triangle.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the thing from Triangle Strategy.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like they took some stuff from that.
Yeah, it seems like a basic thing. I didn't know
Yeah.
if this was too early before they started implementing mechanics like this.
Sure,
or
yeah.
I'm not as familiar with Tactics Ogre.
Yeah, but one of the biggest changes I know from this time around is now Damiani on the field, there's these cards that appear randomly.
Okay.
They're like blue cards, red cards, and green cards. So blue cards, these are the most common thing. They come in already. It's like this card, if you go in that space and in your turn, you'll get that ability. There could be cards that give you plus crit or whatever. It's for this round only. The blue ones. You can get more crit, or you can get more damage, or if you get this card, it'll auto-proc a skill. Stuff like that. But if you get a green card, these are very rare, though. It's a permanent boost for your character.
Nice.
Pretty rare, though. Pretty rare. So you want to try to get those whenever you see them. The enemy could take these too, though.
Oh, so you got
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
What about red cards?
So if you get a red card, it'll take away every buff you have.
So those are bad.
So you don't want to land on the red card, but maybe like you'll want to land on that red card just to get a better position or something like that.
Can an enemy do something to knock you 1-1 somehow?
Some moves have knockbacks. They kind of seem like random sometimes,
Okay.
or like a chance. I'm not sure yet, but you can get knocked back a space.
Okay.
But red cards aren't super everywhere. There's like way more blue cards than anything.
Gotcha.
Red cards, there's usually like one on the field or something like that.
Okay.
But of course, terrain matters, which I really loved.
Yeah, I like hearing that.
Especially after I played 3 houses, I was kind of disappointed with the terrain. So like elevation for sure can really help, especially if an archer, like if like some of the maps they'd put you in Damiani, like you'd start at the bottom of the hill almost, and everyone's perched up. So there's archers up there that can shoot you, but you can't reach them. Your arrow will hit something.
Yeah.
Or if there's like an enemy on the house, you may not be able to hit them all the way. But if you got that terrain, it can totally help. And of course, I think depending on the way you're facing your character also can determine if you get crit or if you can have a higher chance to block, stuff like that.
I think you take extra damage. If you get hit
Lots
from
of
behind.
room for depth, lots of strategy.
Yeah.
It's really good. I love this game. It's one of my favorite games of this year, but I like tactics games a lot. Like, I like Triangle Strategy. I like Final Fantasy Tactics. I think this is a no-brainer if you like those kind of games. I think it's been an excellent way to get to bring this series back. I think the next step they're going to do is Final Fantasy Tactics. Obviously, that seems like the next step for me, or that I would imagine from them, because Final Fantasy Tactics is a much bigger
It
game.
was in the NVIDIA league, so at
Oh
some
yeah,
point
yeah,
it's
yeah.
happening.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't know if that would be Tactics Ogre or not. If that would mean this, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's happening.
Yeah, I think it's Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah,
Some point.
it makes sense to me because like Final Fantasy
It's
Tactics
also,
is
but
way
also
more popular.
like
Yeah.
not every Square Enix revisit has been like a winner though.
Right.
So it also
Yeah.
runs the risk of it could not be as good. So
Yeah, totally.
This is an example of them like making
Doing
the
a good
most
one.
of their
Yeah.
opportunity. So we could hope that that's what they do with
Yeah.
Final Fantasy Tactics. This is a game I definitely need to pick up.
Yeah, I think you'll like this game.
Probably over like more closer to like the holidays in
Mm-hmm.
December. I'll probably try and pick it up and play through some of it. I don't know if I'll actually like finish it.
Yeah,
Yeah, because like we're like I need to finish in December, but it sounds like it's kind of long.
yeah.
Because once we
It's gonna take me a long time to
Once,
get through
once
this.
we get to January and get hit with including another SRPG.
Yeah,
It's
that's true, dude.
But I think it'll still be worth it to get like some hours into it, just because I really haven't played. I played like maybe a few hours forever ago of Tactics Ogre 64 at some point, and that's really it.
Tactics
I
Ogre
missed
64.
I missed getting on the train at the PSP version. I remember when
Sure,
it came,
yeah.
remember when it came out. There was a lot of talk about people praising it and saying you need to like get it, and
Yeah.
I remember maybe trying to get it at some point, but I think I went with Final Fantasy Tactics.
Sure, yeah, I
Lord
get
of the
that.
Lions
Yeah.
instead,
I get that. But there's a lot of classes and a lot of jobs to mess around with. There's so many I still don't have yet. Like there's a Beastmaster I haven't even messed with. You can like recruit monsters and stuff
you
like
go.
that, like
I
skeletons
remember that.
and like
Yeah, I love that.
Beastmasters
yeah,
and
dragon
blue
stuff.
mages,
yeah,
baby.
some crazy
The
stuff
best
going
of
on.
biz.
I forgot about that.
And like characters you can only get if you do certain things and stuff like that. But I believe when you beat the game though, you're able to go back to those moments and choose a different thing.
Nice.
So I don't think you have to replay the whole game.
I like that.
So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. Chris Park wrote in, said, hi allies, as a veteran of the previous version of Tactics Ogre, I cannot overstate how vastly different Reborn is from a gameplay standpoint. The new card system promoting aggression, class system completely overhauled to be more balanced, etc. With certain leaks hinting at the future of Final Fantasy Tactics release, as you brought up earlier, Damiani, would you want a slightly more updated game with some curved slice-off or a vastly new revision that changes things so much that even veterans like me will be thrown off? Thanks. I think Tactics can use some rebalancing.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, for sure.
It should just include I wish they would just have an option at the beginning to pick like the rebalance, like classic
Yes.
mode and rebalance mode.
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
I think offering both ways to play would be a good thing because I think classic. So I don't know about the original version of this Tactics Ogre, like its differences, but for original Final Fantasy Tactics, I know there's some issues, but it's generally revered.
Yeah,
it's like
totally.
top of its game.
Totally.
So there should still be a way to play that version.
Yeah, I would love
Yeah.
if I don't think that'll happen, but I would love that. I think they would do the route that they did with this and kind of just one thing.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's going to already be based off the War of the Lions version
Yes.
anyway.
Yes,
Probably
it
won't
will
be
be.
based on
It
the OG.
absolutely will be.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm
Gotta
sure they'll
put
take
ball
some
feeder in
lessons
here.
learned from Tactics Advance and A2. I
Yes.
think they'll work in some of that
Yeah.
potentially.
Yeah, I think they'll rebalance some of the classes because they did in this and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I mean, some of the balancing is like you can get so OP with a calculator in FFT.
Yeah. Ian Alexander wrote in, do you think Triangle Strategy is the more beginner-friendly strategy RPG when compared with Tactics Ogre? I think the lack of a complex job system and the fact that you keep XP and items after defeat allows you to fail forward and would make it easier for new players. Yes. I think Triangle Strategy is easier to get into.
I just bounced off the like 5 straight hours.
Yeah, Triangle Strategy has like
talking.
a lot of story. In the beginning, it's like front-loaded
It's
with
insane.
a lot of story. A
Yeah.
lot. Like, I was getting annoyed. Where
Like
I was like, I just
all
wanna
of these
fight.
games are
Well,
like that, but like that one was a lot.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, these are more traditional SRPGs, like the most traditional. The closest, cut from the same cloth is Fire Emblem. I mean, there's variants there. It's not exactly the same, but I would say like honestly, the most accessible SRPG probably to get into is probably Fire Emblem Awakening, but like that's on 3DS,
Only,
so
yeah.
that's not as accessible anymore. I think
Yeah.
Three Houses does a good job, but also runs in the same issue where it takes a while to like get into that.
Three Houses, though, more than Triangle Strategy, at least. Like, and Final Fantasy Tactics, I think, is guilty of that too. But like, it peppers in some gameplay in the early parts. Like, Triangle Strategy almost doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty long. But if someone who beat it and saw it to the end, I think it's good in the end, the story
Yeah,
and everything
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. But yes, there's like for instance, this game, like there's story obviously, but it's not like you're not watching like 10-minute cutscenes.
No,
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah,
pretty quick
They're like
pace.
5 minutes tops,
yeah.
and they're just like, "Hey, good job, thanks. You're a knight now. Cool."
And
All right,
also,
bye.
I didn't bring this up, but this game has voice acting now, which is
Yeah.
very nice.
Full voice acting.
Full voice acting.
And-
which is
I
was
great, for the most
surprised.
part.
Yeah.
Except in combat, there's
Yeah.
no voice acting, but all the story stuff, it's all voice acting now, which is cool.
And like pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they've done a good job with that. Square Enix, for the most part, and even with the soundtrack, I know not every revisit remaster has like done the
best
has,
job.
has been a better version. But I like most of their efforts they've done. Even like the pixel remasters. I know there are people who don't like the pixel remaster versions of songs, the new soundtracks, but I think I like almost all of them better.
Oh, okay.
Especially like Final Fantasy IV. I was like, I like this version of the soundtrack better than any other version. Final Fantasy VI, I think, got a lot of some complaints.
Sure.
But even that, I pretty much enjoyed
How
a lot.
did they do the opera?
Well, it's a special version. They also did special visuals for that one too. They did 2D HD.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, for that.
for the opera scene. It's like
Weird.
one of the only spots they use it in any of the Pixel remasters. But they use a version of a already existing one that has like the full, like it's like a
It's
legit
sung-
version. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty
Cool.
good.
This is from Eddie Villanava. I don't know how to say this. How would you say this? How would you say that?
Can't read it.
Villanueve?
Villanueva, probably.
Villanueve.
Don's got it.
Yeah. I would
Apologies.
defer to Don on that kind of thing.
What up, allies? I've loved Final Fantasy I've always loved Final Fantasy Tactics. With the release of Tactics Ogre, how would you compare the two, and would you recommend it?
Yes.
And they said if you take my question, love, respect, guys and gals. Yes, they're pretty damn similar. Some of the leveling is different. Like in Tactics, I remember like you do an ability, you get like some job XP or something like that. It's not like that at all.
And then it has the job wheel and stuff. This is like you apply a thing, right?
Yeah, you like use an item
Yeah.
to switch the job.
But they're pretty similar.
They're very similar.
Like if you like FFT, you'll like
you will
this.
like this game,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say so.
Yep.
Alrighty, that's it for Tactics Ogre, God tier game. Damiani, you've been playing a funny little game, or you did, called Save Room.
Oh yeah,
I looked this up and I was like, what the?
Is this the
Resident Evil 4 item puzzle game?
Huber and I did an easy update.
So yeah, as I was saying, you've already seen
It's a cute game.
Yeah, it's 40 individual puzzles based on the Resident Evil 4 item box and Resident Evil 4 items. They look very similar. They're not exactly, but they
Legally distinct.
They functionally work the same. They also throw in one extra thing that's not in RE4. So far, I've only done like 29.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been playing like one or two every so often. Like it was like a $2-3 game, really easy pickup. Huber just drilled in my head about like keeping that inventory nice in RE4. So I was like, you know what? Also, but like I know it very well too. So I'm like, you know what? This could be fun. And it definitely panders to people who played RE4 because I was saying like the items work the same. The only thing they add in, but it's also another RE game, is they have like the ammo creation things, like the powders are in there,
the crafting?
but like for crafting ammo, but that's not in RE4. Maybe it's in the remake. I don't know.
I think it probably will be.
Yeah. It is. It's we saw the menu. There was a thing about it.
Oh, yeah, that
there is
sounds-
something similar,
that
but this
sounds
is like the old school pre RE4.
Yeah.
They used the combinations to make more ammo.
I liked when they introduced those in Save Room because you're like, I can't fit all this. Oh.
So yeah, that's the thing. At first, it's very self-explanatory, like Tetris it, but then you have too many items. So like in RE, you can eat like bad eggs in RE4 and like take a health hit. So maybe you have too many healing items, but like it won't let you burn them. You have to be able to heal to use a healing item. So maybe you have to hurt yourself and then heal up.
Right.
Combining the yellow, red, and greener before you use any of them. Otherwise, you're screwed. There's an easy restart button if you mess up on any of this. So guns can't be left empty, so you gotta like reload them and then mix them in, and it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's like not very challenging. I think there was one puzzle that actually took some thought for me because like, wait, how do I do this? Because it was like it looked like a very small space and 3 very big guns, like the rocket launcher and 2 rifles. I'm like, that can't fit in there, can it? And I was like, you just keep rotating them enough, and eventually, that was how you do it. But yeah, it's just immediate gratification. It's very simple.
Yeah.
It's it again, if you're RE4 fan and you love like the inventory management, this feels like it would have been perfect as a bonus mini game included in like a new version of RE4 or in the upcoming remake. Like Capcom, like maybe it's like reach out and pay this person the royalties to like
Incorporate it.
Yeah, like don't shamelessly knock it off because you're gonna get hate for it. Like you'll get backlash. Just pay a little bit of money and like work it in as a mini game and be like, yo, here we go. Like that's a fun. Like maybe that's how you expand the your item box. The was it attaché case or whatever it's called. That could be a cool way to like unlock it, or maybe it is a side mini game where you get cool bonuses like
The merchant makes you solve the puzzle first.
or maybe it unlocks like bonuses. Maybe it's not that, but it's like some other kind of cool bonus you can get if you do like all 30 or 40 of them.
Sure.
I don't know. It's there's not really much to say. It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's a time killer. I have it on Switch, so it's like great. Like I'm just sitting around like
I didn't know it was
I need like 5 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I'll do one puzzle. Like really good.
Yeah. Brandon K. Gain wrote in, hello, everyone. I saw Save Room was on this week's list of games, and I wanted to write in about it as I, too, played it enough through it. Easy Update was the first I heard of it, and to me, this was a $5 well spent. Only one puzzle gave me some trouble. I guess that was number 33 to be exact.
Oh, I don't know if that was the same one. I might have another one incoming.
But overall, the 2 hours it took me breezed by, and I was a little bummed when there wasn't more of it. So my question is thus, do you see any potential and evolution to this format? Personally, I think it would be awesome if they introduced combat scenarios like puzzles themselves. For example, the first puzzle could be extremely basic as having one zombie, and you have a single frag grenade, and you only have one turn to defeat the enemy. If you are not able to use the limited resources for a given puzzle encounter correctly, like using all items and there is at least one enemy still standing, you automatically lose and have to start the encounter over.
Oh, I see what they're saying.
Yeah. So if there's the puzzle is
use the inventory you have to solve the combat situation in front of you.
Yes.
Is that the end of the question?
No.
Sorry.
What do you think? This is just a very small example that came to mind, and while Save Room makes a game out of a single mechanic, I think it has a ton of potential. Thanks for taking my submission. Have a very happy Thanksgiving. Stay easy, fellow allies.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah. That gave me a funny idea that you could do a co-op variant of this where one player is playing traditional Resident Evil, but just like a waves thing, maybe over the shoulder or something.
And someone's got to give them resources.
And the other person is managing the case.
That's funny.
But the person shooting can only use something that's been appropriately put in the case.
Yeah. And
so one person is doing a really intense timed organizational thing, and then the other person is doing a combat thing.
Yeah, it'd be cool if it's I'm thinking of Revelations 2, where one person, you're two people, and one of them is following you around with the case, where they're just one's defending the other, but you're giving them all the ammo, putting together all that stuff. That could be funny.
That could be fun.
Yeah, I think this might be similar. From what I understand, I mean, this is what they're asking for is something very specific, so it doesn't exist yet.
Yes,
but I feel like the same vibe. I get the same vibe from the Resident Evil 2, the hunk stuff. Get out because you are given a limited amount of stuff and you just need to use it however to survive. So it's you're not penalized if you don't kill something the right way, but you're clearly never given enough to just stand there and fight. You have to be strategic. Yeah. So that's what I mean by the same vibes. It's you have to be methodical with where you use your things and that's but also the tension level. So I kind of like that. Or is what they're saying, I feel like it'd have to be maybe very not as tense because you'd have to execute the what was the game? I keep forgetting the name of this game, Brad. The one you reviewed, the Katana game.
Katana Zero?
Thank you. Where it's you got to figure out how to get through the level. It's sort of more like that, where it's you only have this many resources. You can only swing the sword 4 times, or you can only shoot your gun 5 times.
Yeah, limited amount of resources.
Figure out that puzzle. And for 3D, that seems right for cheese, unless it's everything's fixed. You don't really move. You just you gotta pick what you're gonna use for each enemy. Otherwise, I feel this is a better setup for a 2D game.
Sure, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I was picturing it you're stationary and things are coming.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of picturing too.
Yeah.
Garrett Holfish, since Save Room is heavily inspired by the RE4 inventory system, will there be a Save Room remake DLC?
Save Room remake?
So
a remake of Save Room?
Yes. After 4 remake comes out, they make a new version of Save Room that's the remake.
That's hilarious.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I wonder how different it'll be.
I love forgot to add, I love how it does even, it's so RE to the bone where you hit the start button at the title screen and it says Save Room, Resident Evil.
And the music sounds like a Save Room.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right. It's time for some emails.
Yo.
If you would like to write an email, join us on Patreon. Head on over there, $5. You could send in a nice little email, read it on here for all sorts of stuff like this, and sort it out and keep it up. And just game questions anytime. All right, let's see. This one is from Euroghost Times. Oh, I'm sorry, Euroghost. I wrote a note for Don. I wrote Times there. Now, this is a long one, but I think this is kind of interesting. We've talked about this. Reviews and Easy A. Hello, allies. I wanted to ask you if you ever thought about changing how you handle reviews. In the past, Huber has mentioned how strenuous the review process can be due to the time and effort required. Therefore, are there any thoughts internally of doing less reviews? I understand games like God of War or Call of Duty being worthy of a review, but do small games like Somerville and Plague Tale require a review?
Bloodworth snipers are on the roof right now. We can't talk about this.
Personally, I love discussion. I love the discussion preview videos between allies. So have you thought about doing that for reviews as well? It could be an opportunity to try something new, but also to ease up the burden of needing to review too many games. Secondly, reviews remain voiced by Brandon Jones. While this is nice to still have a connection to Brandon, do you think it could be rather confusing to a new viewer if they watch a review and see Jones' name, hear Jones' voice, and they decide to check out more Easy A content, and they won't see Jones again? I was wondering if Jones' involvement here still helps the channel. All in all, you are more well versed in the process. So, what are your thoughts? It seems reviews are an old concept that need to be done. I was wondering if refinement in certain areas might be for the best. From the outside looking in, it seems like reviews are a necessary evil for a gaming channel. Thank you for your time. Much love and respect. Here it goes. What was the last thing? A necessary evil for a gaming channel is very funny for us. Because I don't think so. I like the reviews. I like doing the reviews.
Yeah, the VO thing, I mean, we had plans to do, have the guys
more.
voice their own. Ben was mostly going to do that, but then he left, so.
I'm not opposed to doing that. I personally just haven't had the time or felt like the right review for me to try that out with yet.
Yeah.
But it's something I would like to do. So
We've got the
more.
vocal booth, so anyone
Yes.
who wants to do it could do it, but.
It would just take me more time, a lot more time, especially my first time doing it. I'd have to come in and record it and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not opposed to that kind of thing. I personally like Jones doing it too, though, because it's very classy. The guy's
Yeah.
fucking professional. It's not easy to do it well,
Yeah.
and he does it very well. But I mean, for like stuff, if we can't review maybe something all the times, we try to do maybe like an impressions video or something like that, talking about it. Like I did review Bayonetta eventually, but me and Damiani, right when it came out, did an impressions video talking about it.
Yeah. But
But I don't know. It's a case by case kind of thing. We're experimenting with stuff.
yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah. This question come up on a past radio or the podcast because Blood was definitely here when we had this talk. It was like within the last month or two.
Sure, maybe.
We literally had Blood on the episode when we talked
okay.
about this.
Well, we
yeah,
talked
I
about it
can't
in a
remember.
meeting recently,
Yeah, I
too.
can't remember.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the existing argument is that I mean traditional reviews carry weight with the publishers that keep giving us access to the code that keeps our name out there that like helps with like brand recognition and it's like we're still one of the now dwindling amount of outlets that still do the type of produced video review where and you still get that like old school traditional style. But then the counter argument is that the direction seems to be more immediacy, getting things out faster. As I said, like more personalization. Like, yes, doing your own VO and a produced review helps, but people have gone even beyond that where they're just like straight up or like playing and talking like on a stream. Like I'm giving you my immediate reactions and thoughts and like, and then afterwards I'm going to do a cut down of that. And like, you're just seeing me talk about the game there. Like I don't need to go back and like record this, but obviously yes, but they're also talking about the parts they're playing. So it's like the shot matches what they're talking about. You just have to like do the work of rewatching if you didn't time log. Whole different argument, but like they're different styles.
Yes.
And the it comes down to like what people like to prefer to digest, and it does seem like the trend is sure you can show me clips and you can do a produce review and those still are good, but I'd rather just watch the game being played and make up my own mind, and I also want to watch someone who's like maybe entertaining and or having a good discussion about the game while they're playing. And so that's where I think you're seeing the direction move, where you're seeing
Live
more coverage
reaction.
of games around the launch of big games being one of two things. Either a lot of live stream videos about it, people just streaming, playing it, like review in progress or my live review, or like we're playing full playthrough, we're checking this out, and they just get all those views, and then they put up all the VODs, and those get up all the views. And then at some point afterwards, the content creators come in and do like unique angle videos on this, like this ending, the one Heber hates.
And explain.
This ending explain, like God of War Ragnarok, ending explain, or like shit
Yeah.
like that, which is not a review, but is some other type of produced content that fits into the current trend of, usually like about 10 minutes long and has, an interesting angle and it might have a good thumbnail, but sometimes it's just a person. Sometimes they do have footage matching. Sometimes it's a person talking using random clips with a occasional comedy quip here, like insert random movie scene here for like my like sound up, and that's kind of what it is. To go so long here, but to answer the real question, it's that. Yeah, I think there might still always be a place for traditional style reviews, just like there are in movies and music. Like there's still people who like reading print. It will still probably always exist. It's just in order to survive and thrive and grow, I think that's more specialized and like it can't support a lot of people still doing that. You have a better chance of surviving and flourishing in the current environment if you take the newer approach.
Yeah.
And so there's definitely good arguments made there about...
Yeah, sure. There's pros and cons for both. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but I don't think our reviews seem like a necessary evil. I don't know, for our game.
Oh, necessary evil? I take that as like they threw in the word about Huber there, like the burnout. Or not what was the word they used? I forget in their question, right?
Yeah.
Strenuous.
So I say the necessary evil is that like it takes a toll on us, and so that, but we have to do them. I mean, to be just like speaking in hypotheticals, that is a very valid thing to bring up. It's like, should time be better used for other thing? You know, discussion that could or have happened. You know, stay tuned. But that's about like it's not. We have not missed that point. Yeah.
Also, Huber just needs to consider the optics of his tweets before tweeting.
That made that too, yeah. But like, if we want to cover more games, we've already, as Brad said, we've already kind of been doing it. It's like we can't review every game, but you ask us to cover more games. I think maybe it is we like less reviews, but more coverage, which is like maybe we play a game only for a few hours and then shoot a quick video on launch day, and that's all you're getting. You're not getting like. There is no review coming. So like it would also be a part of the community to understand that transition, that stop asking where's the review then, like understand that like we'd only be reviewing a handful of games a year or something, like the biggest games.
Yeah.
So you can't have both. I guess with the amount of resources we have.
And we've already decreased to the amount that we're able to do because of there are fewer of us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, for like example, Tears of the Kingdom, like we're not going to get that early. The review's not going to be ready like when the game's out or the embargo when everyone else is. So me and Dami are going to shoot something probably like we're going to play like 12 hours or some shit. Then we're going to talk about it. Then I'll probably do a review down the line. So it just depends on the game and like where we're at and what's going on. Mm-hmm. So we'll keep going. All right. This is from the champ.
The champ.
Hey allies, I was wondering, do you beat every optional boss in video games? In Souls games, I tend to hunt down every boss. Recently with God of War Ragnarok, I did the same. Without spoiling it, I would say one of the optional bosses was a cakewalk, while the other was a lot of profanity. But I managed to beat them on hard. But no matter how hard these bosses are, I feel like I have to take them out. The game isn't complete until they are defeated. I get this way only with bosses. Quests and collectibles, I just pass. 3 trophies away from the God of War Platinum, I'll pass. Horizon, same. But I did beat those bosses. Anyone feel the same? Another quick question. What are some of your favorite optional bosses? Mine is Welta ID in Xenosaga Episode 3. I don't know what the hell that is.
I don't know Xenosaga at all.
In terms of optional bosses, it just depends on the game.
Yeah.
Or if I'm like, dude, these bosses are sick. I got to see them all. Kind of thing like that. Then yeah, I'll do it. Like... Souls games, I do.
Yeah, Souls games, like I'm getting the platinum, like gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
God of War 1, I did everybody except the Valkyrie Queen because she was really hard.
Yes,
but I did everybody else. God of War 2, I probably just won't even play anymore. So it just depends on the game.
Yeah, I assume you're in the same boat.
Yeah, like I did it with Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I mean, also like, just like sometimes rewards are also worth it. It's not just sometimes it's story, but like also in Elden Ring, it's like there's something I need from you, and I want to like use it for something. So also the sometimes variations. Whereas like Breath of the Wild, I mean, even like the Divine Beast bosses are technically optional. You don't really have to do them, but there's a lot of repetitiveness in the overworld bosses. Like there's only so many Hinox, however you pronounce it, like variations of that, I really want to fight. It's like,
Yeah.
Sure.
really? Another one? I'm like, cool, I'm just going to run away from you and bye. I don't never need, like, it marks on the map.
Especially
I'm like,
when it's just
whatever.
like, hey, guess what? This one has twice the amount of hit points and
Yeah,
nothing else
it's
is
like,
different.
not
It's like, oh, fun.
interesting. It's
Cool.
like, yeah, so it's interest level. Like, what is the reward worth it?
Yeah.
Extends to everything.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
if it doesn't feel worth it, I'm not going to bother with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I still think back to like how awesome it was back in high school, like searching out like Emerald Weapon
Yeah.
and stuff. Like that felt epic and incredible.
Those are like, because it felt like legends. Like, is this
Yeah,
even
yeah,
true?
yeah. Like, I heard about
think
it from
it's
a kid at school.
But I don't, like, is it
Yeah.
really this hard? And you get to it, like, what the hell?
Yeah,
Like,
you're
how
just
do you
like,
even
what?
beat this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super bosses, man.
Oh my god, it was so much fun. Will that be in this one, or will we have to wait for part 3?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't.
This is from Jared Buffington. How much of a story has to be told versus shown? I'm thinking about the differences between a game that explains its narrative through dialogue and using the environment to tell the story. I played Scorn, which leaves the entire story up to interpretation, which gave me more freedom in understanding what was going on, requiring me to pay attention to what I do as a player. Whereas most games, even the Souls games, doles out lore through item descriptions.
I mean,
Souls games definitely show you
the
more
unsatisfying answer is like you can do both correctly.
Yeah, you
and
can.
you can do both well.
You can do both well, absolutely.
There's an adage in filmmaking: show don't tell. Like it's where it gets bad is when you just have expository dialogue or someone just explaining to you what's
For
happening.
like 5 minutes, yeah.
That's generally. I mean, obviously there are situations where it's worked, but like generally that is not great. But video games are an interactive medium, so for my money, discovering things on your own is usually
Yeah, it
pretty
can be
cool.
Yeah, it just depends on what they're going for.
But yeah, you can do either well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree too. The games I'm generally gravitate towards, the one way or the other, whichever they do narrative, is usually just a cherry on top. I
Yeah.
don't generally gravitate, like, I know there are games where like it needs to do it well because that is the name of the game. Like we just played through the Devil in Me. It's like
Yeah, that is a narrative.
Yeah, you
interactive
need
fiction,
to
yeah.
do
Better
that
nail
well.
that. Yep.
Or a movie 'em up. As today, I asked Twitter and Hive, like, is there a name for these for an easy update that Huber and I are going to shoot
yeah.
later? And I'm like, what do you call these? And like, I got some really funny answers. like
Good.
Until Dawn likes and movie 'em up. Movie 'em
Movie 'em
up
up.
was really
Movie 'em
good.
up,
That's
pretty
funny.
good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I know people appreciate FromSoft lores a lot, but for like the ones I enjoy, like Elden Ring, I absolutely would have. I mean, it did enhance. I won't lie, it was nice learning some stuff in NPC quest, but like I still would really love that game if it had zero narrative.
Sure,
in it. Like,
yeah.
I don't. I that's not why I'm playing Elden Ring right now.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't need. It's great, but I actually don't need this. Same with like a Metroid game. It's like I don't need any story. Like just give me the game.
Well,
and
that's
we're
like
good.
something that video games are sort of unique with regard to narrative, because like oftentimes with games like Elden Ring or things like just like your certainty that the world has a consistent logic and that there's a narrative there, like the world design and narrative in that sense has to be strong, because then you're kind of just steeped in it and experiencing it, and you can grow to love the world even if you don't understand the story, or like even if you don't know all the ins and outs of the whereas reading a book or watching a movie, like that's the experience, so like you could go through Elden Ring not understanding the story at all but still have appreciated the world.
Yeah.
And
That's a
I
good-
think that's important.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like I think that world design being influenced by the coherency of the narrative rules they set down is why someone like me, or even more so than me, that wants to just play the game for the game can enjoy that world design because it was meticulously put together for
There's
those
a cohesion
purposes.
there. Yeah.
That definitely is a good point. Yeah.
Final question from Reptile Scorpio. Howdy, allies. We are almost at the pointy end of the year, so I've started thinking about my votes for video game music of the year. My top 3 currently are Xenoblade 3, Sonic Frontiers, and TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
Ooh.
Endwalker was my top pick from last year. Can you think of any other releases that might end up in the contention? I still
boy.
really need to get back to Kirby as well.
A lot of good music this year.
There's a lot, which is why alluded to earlier, I need
Music stream.
I'm going to some point in December when we're technically on break. I'm just gonna pick like a day or two or something and do like big ass game music marathon stream where I could just like have the community send me maybe songs from games they think are like very good.
This makes my DCMA alarm bells.
Oh no, I'll know better. Like I always preview the song before I start playing it, and I'm like, this seems
Well, you just
iffy.
delete the VOD too.
That's the other thing. I'm also considering like this is
delete it.
more for
It's live.
it's entertaining to watch live, but like it's more to help me start assembling things I need to maybe I missed something. I've done something similar like this in the past, but also I have some ideas I'll float in our December meeting because our personal game of the year, our Easy Allies game of the year, the music category has kind of like evolved into just being like our personal picks. So almost at the like, I would like to maybe propose that like maybe we turn over to the community because we don't want to pick the award because we're so subjective. If it's just going to be like that, maybe we add another community award because we already do the patron game of the year. Maybe do patron soundtrack of the year as well, and like have patrons get involved with that. I think
I don't want to
I
get
like
rid of our soundtrack.
no,
thing,
we'll still have soundtrack, but like also song, like
Best
we're just
song we
best
had to get
song.
rid of.
I think we can do both those with the community.
Y'all
Okay.
got weird taste. We had to get rid of that.
Yeah, so I think we.
Yeah, you
could,
got real upset about it. It was weird.
I think like that'd be fun. The community, or maybe just like best song community highlights, where it's like these are the 5 songs that like the community kind of like voted that were like the top 5, and maybe we just like if we're allowed to, we listen to them during our debates and like those like if we're not familiar. I don't know. These are the things I'll bring up in the meeting. We
Don't
haven't like
sleep
cemented.
on Rogue Legacy.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
great
Lazy
soundtrack.
too.
Good
Yeah.
music, definitely.
Oh yeah, there's so many good songs. So I kind of just like want to, rather than just like driving my car listening to them, which is always the best way to experience game music. Be nice just to be like relaxing in my room and chair and just like with chat and stuff and be like, yo, this is some good tunes.
Chat and stuff.
Chat and stuff.
My chair.
Man.
Dawn, any music that pops in your mind? Dawn.
Kirby was actually quite good.
Okay.
I did enjoy
Yeah.
that one a lot.
Okay, cool.
I thought I haven't heard enough to judge, but for personal picks, that one did stand out.
Thank you,
a lot.
Dawn.
Especially that opening song. God, you know what I'm talking about.
You know the one.
Damiani.
We did the stream. It was on our stream.
Yeah,
I
so
made you.
good.
I specifically got you all ready for it. I was like, get ready for it. And you all your minds were blown. It was great.
I don't remember. I have to listen
It's
again.
like the anime opening
have
song.
no-
I can't
On
remember.
the car ride where he's driving into the mouthful mode.
kind of.
And it kicks in like this like soft like anime like opening music with vocals and stuff.
Okay.
It's real good.
Yeah.
I do remember.
Okay, that's going to do it for this episode of Frame Trap. Isla, Damiani, thank you for joining me. Dawn, thank
Thanks
you
for
for
having
joining us also,
Thank
chiming
you.
in. We did this live also, so thanks everyone in our live chat on Twitch. Watching around. Appreciate it. Thank you. And we will see you all next time. Bye.